The Wild Wild West.
The water does smell a certain way.
What, the
Got a
bidet?
certain smell, yeah.
I think
I haven't tried one yet, but I have.
Hey,
You haven't
we're
tried it
live. Hey,
Haven't tried one yet, but I have three. I can't use.
Rogan's
use wipes in my
studio
new
has them.
place.
Rogan's studio has them. They have the heated toilet seats and shit.
Yeah, the ones I got have that,
So nice.
but I've never used it, and I'm still nervous because the place I got, I can't use wipes. You can't put them in the septic tank.
Yeah.
So like, I got bidets, but still nervous.
You haven't fired them up?
Everyone
Pull the
says it's
trigger.
great. Huh?
It's the best. You never used
Well, I haven't
one?
moved in yet.
Oh.
Never used one ever
I was like,
now.
damn, that's
But also the
crazy.
places
You
they
never
tell
used
me
it?
they
had
have
Gas Digital had them.
I know.
That was
That's
like
what
the
I'm
first
saying.
place I ever used
When
them.
people say that, that's always the funniest thing to me. They go, dude, they have it at Gas Digital. You haven't used it at Gas Digital? Like, no, I've never shit right next to the studio at Gas
I've
Digital.
shit in there like 10 times. Well, it was always because you do Real Ass Podcast. It's at 11 a.m.
Sure.
For me, that's early. I
Yeah,
have to
but
wake
not
up
you.
at like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always late. So you got to get that morning dump when you get to the studio.
And then bidet.
And then you go, I've never tried this. What's this button do?
It's clutch at
And
the
you go,
mothership.
God damn,
And was
that
it
thing-
awesome?
You can't believe the accuracy.
So why
Yeah.
don't
I
you?
thought it was going to hit me.
It does start every time, no matter what. I go, ooh. When it first gets me, I
Yeah.
jump a little and go, ooh.
It's a nice
Yeah,
treat.
Bobby Kelly described it. He goes, "You're waiting for," which I understand what he's saying. You're lining it up with the remote control until you hear like it go from like when your asshole starts accepting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Listen, I'm excited to try it. I still don't fully get it.
It's just water.
Like I
It's just-
see the concept, but how could it be strong enough that you're really getting that clean?
Oh,
It's hitting
it's
you, bro.
strong, bro.
Dude, if you moved, it would go
fucking-
like 7
Yeah,
feet in
yeah,
the
yeah.
air.
Really?
Yeah,
It
that thing fucking
Blast
launches
you,
into your
bro.
ass.
I would say about official gauge, about a Super Soaker 50.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
25,
25.
25.
25, my
I was gonna
bad.
say,
I'd say
whoa.
25. 50, come on, man.
What, are you trying to catch a lawsuit?
Yeah, 25. 50 is crazy.
Say,
Yeah, I'd say
fuck,
the
put a hole
yellow,
through the top
the
of your
yellow and
head.
green one.
Yeah, true.
The basic one.
Yeah, Toys R Us basic. But no, it hits you, man. I would advise you to start cold. Warm's kind of indulgent. Warm's borderline sexual.
Warm sexual.
Warm water hitting you is like, you might as well fap. Like, it's kind of sexual. So start cold.
Matt, you couldn't be closer to the truth. It's real sexual.
I don't know if I would choose cold water to go up there if there's a warm water option.
You're going to want warm, bro.
Everyone ends up warm
Everyone
anyway.
goes warm. I don't know why that's making me cry. It's very funny.
I think I'm still a wipes guy on the road. I just can't believe that most of the time, just paper for you.
Just raw dog, yeah.
I did that for a very long time until enough people were just like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, I
Why
get
just
the wipes and then
smearing
people
peanut butter around your ass?"
they tell you it'll fuck your shit up.
But only if you have. Well, here's a couple things going on. There was no signs here when you moved in
No.
that said don't put wipes in the toilet. Fire away, dude.
Also, I
True.
run through those things and then just don't go back to the store.
Wow.
So I get like once a month. And then Lemaire had a pack in the back. He was plowing
Dude
through.
wipes.
Is your
Probably
lady
jacking
not a
off
good
with them.
house organizer in a sense? Like one thing
No,
about
not one bit.
Christine, I got to give her always is you just go running low on wipes, and then like an Amazon thing of 20 packs of wipes show up.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have the that can work against me though, because I'm like, yeah, we need to get garlic powder. Did you add it to the grocery list? And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You do the fucking grocery list. I mean, it is a great system.
Yeah, Jay,
Get
don't come in
everything.
here with girlfriend bragging like that. do not make me make fun of my girlfriend.
It was more assistant, Brad. It was more the assistant skills.
Yeah, that was a girlfriend brag, and now I had to put my girlfriend down with her lack of skills.
It is skills. Yeah, you get. My baby didn't have those house skills. It took a while.
Yeah,
You had to learn how to use like different parts of the iPhone notes, the Notes app. A lot
Yeah.
to that thing, man.
I take notes
Take notes.
sometimes.
Do you really?
If Gardini says something funny when he's drunk, I write it down and then send it to him the next morning and go, "Remember when you said this?"
Oh.
Someday
I thought you were
everyone
building-
will know I'm right. It's 2:30 in the morning on a Thursday.
That's a Gardini guarantee.
Do you ever-
That is a
Stand by
Gardini
that.
guarantee.
You know, it's a fun thing. You ever go? I've written several things. I don't do it in years, which is why it's still sort of fun because they're from so long ago. But my phone notes when I had intentions of like,
Oh yeah,
like this is a funny concept.
I got it.
And whatever the keywords you write down, you see a thing. It's like
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
like gay pizza.
Yeah.
The fuck does that even mean? Like,
Then it'd be before
I thought
show.
those keywords would drive me to like when I
Before-
got back home. Like, all right, now what was my thing with gay pizza?
Yeah, before a show, you're like, fuck, I don't have any material. Let's go back into the archives. Gay pizza.
Gay pizza.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
It
embarrassing.
sounds as bad as when somebody walks up to you and does like the, you know, so if someone else goes, gay pizza, can you do something with that?
It's the exact
work with
I
that?
got a premise for you.
Gay pizza.
Yeah, I always think I'm going to go back there one day and there's going to be something I wrote a long time ago and I'm going to go, oh my God, this is genius. And I just look at it, I'm like, I'm a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, I'm one of the dumbest
Most
people.
of it repeats 7 times. I'm like, yeah, I've written this down 5 times. I still don't know what it is.
Rape, comma, sometimes fun, question mark?
Oh, 3:30 in the morning on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Good work. Good work.
Was I?
2019, Shane. Good job.
But yeah, they're never fucking.
Yeah,
There's never something where I feel like I could go back and go, oh yeah, let me expound upon that.
never once.
Nope. Never. Although I have lost some great ones, man. Right before bed, I go, I'll definitely remember that. And I
Yeah.
wake up and go, oh, that was so good. It
Nothing.
would have changed everything.
Yeah, long drive in a car, say it over and over to myself 3 or 4 times, and then like you get next day exactly. You're like, I was something about something.
Yeah.
Long drive in a car, I go, this is going to be good. I'm going to get some material out of this. Just rap for 3 straight hours. I didn't have one thought the entire drive.
But you got the premise. Was it rap great?
Yeah.
Dude, I started smoking weed again in hopes of like it'll jar up some new ideas. It's the same thing. I just got like confused in the grocery store and I was just like, this is not
We both had a nice groceries.
We did.
We
We
both
were
had
the
a Whole Foods day.
same time.
Yeah.
Dude, I was getting the lead out personally. I got very high and listened to Led Zeppelin in the grocery store, and it was, I mean, Led Zeppelin was way better than I remembered it. I was like, I think I'm over this. I'm almost 40 now. That was like stuff when I was a kid. Dude, I was listening to Led Zeppelin too. I was like, might be the greatest album of all time.
You put me back on. You were like, I let the lead out. I said, I got to let that. It's
get
been
the
a
lead-
while.
you got
Yeah,
the
I
lead
got
out?
it out.
Dude, it was crazy.
Shit rocks.
I for real, I'm not lying. I was walking towards the cheese aisle of the grocery store, and at one point, like they hit the drums. I almost went and like kicked. I was playing, dude. I was up on stage. I almost fucking kicked and signaled the drummer.
Yeah, my Whole Foods experience was much like my experience at the mall. I was like, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I got there. I was like, I don't even know what I want.
You just
I
said,
don't
"I'm
even
gonna
want
go."
it. I got chicken and bacon and eggs and left.
Well, that is why.
I spent $30 and yeah.
Do you
You're
scan
not a
every
weed-
aisle? Like you start
Yeah,
produce?
I walked around.
You're not a
for
weed guy,
long
though.
time.
It's a big thing. If you could smoke weed and go to the store, you start thinking ahead more.
Yeah, you're planning ahead.
Yeah, true.
You're like, I'm definitely gonna want fluff at some point.
We don't want to fluff or
I've
nothing.
never bought it ever, but like, you should have it.
I did it just every aisle 4 times. I just walked. I do like the outskirts usually. Then I just started hitting every aisle while I was jamming, and then like would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need an onion. I had to go all the way back to the other side, get an onion.
You're gonna
and
need
be
that
like,
onion.
Taco
The
night's
things
gonna
I
be
the
sick.
things I end up like hoarding because I don't realize we have them. You buy too much are great. Like probably have like 4 different kinds of pickles in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
No meat, but 4 different jars of pickles
That's
that have
good.
been like
You
opened
can
at different
want those
times.
pickles.
Yeah, well, listen, you need stackers and you need spears, but after that, you start just getting gluttonous.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot the spears.
I forgot the spears, the dill
Fuck, I gotta
spears.
head back to the store.
Hey, bitch, are these bread and butter chips? Because I said pickles.
Dude, I will say, I think I don't think it's any good, but I just smoked weed all weekend, being like, I got to come up with something funny, and then I actually went to a gala last weekend. It was Brittany planned it months and months ago, and I got very high and went to that, and it was the only thing people were talking about school, like I started school in September, but I was like held back because I wanted to be the older person in the class, and I got
These are adults saying this?
yeah, we were just talking about like getting like if you got held back, and I was like, I just like muttered to Brittany, I was like, I got held back in the 4th grade because my dick was too big. I laughed for 30 minutes.
Genius. Write it down. Dick too big for 4th grade.
Notes.
She was like,
That'll come in handy in 8 months.
she's like, why would you get held back if your dick's too big?
What's a
I was
gala?
like, dude, you're ruining it, dude. It's just funny. He's like, I got held back too. Why? Because my dick too big.
Yeah.
What's a gala?
It's
a
like when
party?
it's just a thing where you get dressed up and then they just make people, they like ask people for money basically.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was like It was like a domestic violence thing, and then they had cowboys come out and be like, "One."
Oh, those guys, the auctioneer guys.
Yes, they went.
Anti.
You remember those?
abuse.
Anti. Yes, it was
They
not.
almost got us.
Really?
We were at the Texas Longhorns thing, and they did the auctioneers.
10,
And I
11,
was like,
10,
"Lemaire, you can bid first on one of these.
You can.
And he was like, 50 grand. And then no one was bidding for like a minute, and I was sitting next to him like,
Jesus.
"Oh shit!"
What?
Yeah, I was like, "I'll
That's
pay for it.
terrifying.
You can bid."
You gotta
He goes,
start low.
$50,000.
No,
And
'cause
people were.
it starts at like 2, and that's the move to raise your hand for the
Yeah, it's
very
fun
first,
to go.
knowing
Yeah.
it's going to
$100,
fucking
$1.
yeah. Dude,
What
they
was
got
it on? What were you?
It was like a vacation with a coach.
Coach
Sent
vacation.
Lemaire and Coach Sarkeesian to a cabin.
Yeah, it was like a boys' vacation in the cabin.
With an adult man you don't know?
Coach Sark.
Well, there'll be like a 32-person trip to Orlando.
Just
And it's
Lemaire.
like, what the fuck?
Just Lemaire.
Dude, what they did on it, it was actually kind of sick. So they had this trip. They had the bid up to $15,000, and they had 4 people. And they went, you all get it right away, and they all had to get one for 15 grand. I was like, oh,
That hurts.
Yeah, it was exciting. The cowboy bidders were exciting.
It was nice.
That was fun.
Yeah.
but
Did you
try
get
not to
anything?
laugh for a
Did
half
you
an
get
hour.
anything at the gala?
Oh, I told Brittany. I said, bro, not a motherfucking
How much was she
thing.
trying to raise that hand?
I told her before we went in, and 3 times I saw her elbow move, and I said, I will
Do
fucking
not.
storm out.
I want that.
I will. It's just like
We could have that.
it is.
could be
It's,
ours.
it's kind of a girl trap because it's
Yeah.
like they pop confetti on you, and it's like the pricing makes no sense. It's perfect for them.
Yeah.
It's like $30,000. Yes. It's like I was
For
man.
what? What are the objects?
The objects, they were like pretty intense vacations, and they will be like the sleeps like 18 people. So I guess you could try to get people in on it, but it was vacations. What else was it? It was like trips. There was a quail hunting trip or dove hunting
Yeah.
trip in South Africa. You could go shoot birds in South Africa.
God bless the person who goes figures out a vacation
Yeah.
package in a moment of someone going like, all right, Turks and Caicos got a nice little cabana on the
There you
beach. $50,000. Honey, you want to go to Turks and Caicos? Right? Let's do it right now. Yes, then me.
Let's get 20 of our friends. We'll agree on this
You have
date.
to sort that out so much before you raise your hand.
Dude, it was
Everybody
intense.
I know will go to that when I say.
We gotta go to Turks and Caicos definitely on this date.
It was more the elders. The older people were snagging all these crazy things.
Oh, they gotta do everything before they die.
They were definitely hitting them up. But it was I will say gala energy. It's a lot of the dudes there. It like struck me as like guys who are like expecting blowjobs at any minute. Just like the face they're sitting there like just making a face like they knew they were getting their
They're
dick
going to
sucked
get
that
head.
night. Yeah,
Everyone's dressed up.
exactly.
Your penis is going to be in a mouth.
It was a lot of pre-head energy. That was the one
Yeah.
thing, and it was it's not good nor bad. I was just saying like fuck, man,
Sexual energy.
very
In the
sexual.
gala. Everyone's laughing, drinking, spending money.
I mean, if you
Is it trophy wives and
if you
prostitutes?
yes, pretty much. And if you can get like, if you get women in a dress, that is step one.
Yeah.
Like, this is fancy. Yeah, that is kind of step one to kind of
Yeah.
possibly getting hit.
It's Valentine's Day.
Bringing your wife
much.
makes sense. Bringing your girlfriend, but bring the stuff people bring escorts to when escorts are doing the actual job they say they're doing. When
Yeah.
you heard about escort, it's like, well, you're paying me for my time. Whatever happens, thing. It's like we can go to dinners, and you're like, yeah.
I'd rather
used to
just
drive
give you
them.
a hand job.
I used to drive them, and I'll tell you what, they weren't going to any galas. They were going in the front of a house I thought was abandoned to get fucked by a guy whose arm is always broke or has polio.
You used to drive hookers.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
What
a
does that
wacky
make
job.
you in the pimp hierarchy? Were you like you were a wheelman?
Wheelman, just but
Big J,
technically
get
they're
these motherfuckers.
technically they're to protect them, protecting them in like the strippers more. They were all like strippers and
Yeah.
prostitutes for the most part, but the strippers was a scarier job because you have to go in and like make sure everything's like kind of okay.
Oh, you did like the bachelor party guy who like went in and like counted the money.
Yeah. The prostitutes where you just drive up out front and they go in and they'll be like, if all goes great, I'll be it's supposed to be there for like an hour. They're like, I should be out in 15 minutes. And like they usually would. But the one time I drove someone outside of Pennsylvania, it was outside of Philly. I drove a girl one time and like we picked her. And like, this is also the thing you get to see, like this is not like this guy's definitely not going to be happy. When you're driving someone out, I picked them up and I was like, unless there's no way this guy picked her. This is like before like internet was everything. So you were going on like a Yellow Pages call, or like I guess like the
You
back
had the
of, like,
Rhino in the
Philadelphia
car.
Weekly
You had
or
the
something.
Bob and Rocksteady in the car. Do you guys ever get caught in sex traffic?
I don't know. I did it.
If it were bumper to bumper, that would be sex traffic.
would be sex traffic.
Sex traffic. But I drove this girl. I knew she was like, I'm like, this guy's not gonna like her. She was like, we drove to this nice neighborhood, and this girl was like gothed out, like big, heavy set chick, real milky skin. It was just a look that I'm certain the guy who lives here was not going for. And she goes,
Are you sure you weren't trying to hog, being like, this guy's not going to be into you? You should actually just pull
Yeah.
over.
let me get you away from all this.
Yeah, that's what I did when I was catering. You're gonna take one of the palms. You know what I mean? If I'm driving a hooker, I'm gonna go, come on, how about a kiss? Of one kiss.
Oh,
They're
no.
never gonna know. Give me a little smidge.
The first girl I ever drove, well, I'll go back to that in a second. But this girl, she went inside she went to the guy's house, and I'm just waiting in the car. And then she comes back like 3 minutes later.
What?
And she goes, he said that I'm not what he was expecting, and blah. And he's sending me what I was like, I saw coming. And she goes, and now no matter what, the guy's got to pay X amount for me.
Yeah.
For the drive, or whatever it was, like $25. That meant the world to me at the time, for sure. And so she was like, he's not. She goes, I was like, oh. I was like, so he just gave you like the, the cancel money or whatever? And she was like, no, he wouldn't give me any money at all. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
And I just gotta hedge the bets. I'm like, what does this asshole look like? Because you're waiting to hear like, I'm like,
6'8".
hey, so I can go find him. But like, I'm really just asking. I'm like, is this worth $25 for me to go knock on this guy's door? And she was like, he's like this little like nerdy whatever guy. So I was like, oh, good. So I knock on the door, and I was like, and she kind of came with me, which I didn't think was a good idea. And he opens the door, with kind of like, I don't want like trouble thing. And I was like, no, man, just gotta like, you're supposed to give like $50. I guess like 25 for each of us or something like that. And he was like, he's like, oh, well, I don't, he was basically being a dick. He was like, I don't have the money. And I'm like, buddy, you got to give it. And then she just busts the door open and started like unhooking his VCR. And she was, well, I'm taking something with me or something like that. Like, I got her not to do that ultimately, but like she was planning on walking out there with something. And then having to drive a rejected hooker home is such a hilarious like conversation.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, I probably went in there with a bad attitude because I didn't want to fuck him. Like, sure.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, you got it. But
I'm glad I didn't get his VCR. I didn't even fucking want it, dude.
the first girl I ever drove, I remember being like impressed by her because she was just pretty. One,
It'd be funny if you're like 12 and this is just your paper route.
I was 18, I think.
Damn.
18 or 19. I only did this for a very short amount
How'd you
of time.
get this gig?
My friend Ernie was dating a girl whose dad was just like probably like weird connected shit or something like that. And it was like they had a guy who like just ran stripper. It was supposed to just be strippers ultimately. And like, you just go there and whatever. I found out very quick because the guy was like, all the other drivers for this company were like old men. I remember asking the guy one time, like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
Is like, am I the only? And I feel like I'm in danger a lot. And he was like, well, he goes, they have guns. Like, you don't have a gun? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, do you want one? And I was like, no. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, dude, because I get too nervous. So I was like, I'm going to pull out way too early because I'll be nervous. It's always like 15 guys, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've had him say things like, you're supposed to stop us if we do anything. And I'd be like, yeah, me and this guy are supposed to stop. I'd be in a circle already pointing at
Shoot the
everybody.
hooker.
Trying to John Wick both hands. Yeah, it was terrifying.
At a bachelor party in the Poconos.
No, I was always last. Same company as the one I did the dressing up at kids' parties for.
That was the funniest.
What?
Hold on. I know you've told this story a million times, but can you please tell us that story?
Which
The dressing up and
there's a couple of them. The Elmo. The
yeah, the
Elmos.
Elmos.
The Elmo. Yeah.
Just let me get that story.
That was the first one they sent me to. The guy was like, hey, if you want to make more money, I also, during the day, the stripper company does kids' parties where you dress up as the costumes. Same guy, you go to the same guy's house with his fucking koi pond and pick up the fucking bag. The trash bag, mind you, full of costume. That was like not the licensed ones, I guess you'd say. They were like shitty costumes.
Knockoff Elmos.
So I was Elmo, and they sent me. I was the last call for the stripper thing and this. Like we need somebody. Our main guys can't do it, so I always got the shittiest gigs, and I mean like real like North Philly, like scary places to go. And I went as Elmo. Right away, no one's happy to see me. They're like, "Why is a white guy with a garbage bag coming to our front door?" And then they let me in, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm here for the kids." I'm Elmo. And they go, "Oh, all right, go change in the back." It's sweltering hot. It's like summertime. I put on the Elmo costume, and then I come out to start and I tell them like, he was yelling at me to do the hokey pokey, but I was giving her. I gave her like a CD you have to like put in, and she was like, "We ain't got no player here. Just do the hokey." She kept yelling, "Do the hokey pokey" at me, which is a funny thing to be yelled at. And then, I got a little screen. I'm like, "Miss," it's sort of the closer, like the hokey pokey with all the kids. And then, whatchamacallit, this little girl, this little black girl, like barrettes in her. She was so cute. Like it was a moment where I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like this gig, because she did like the hug. She hugged my leg and loved you, Elmo. And then kids, like bad kids, you could tell, were coming in the block on bikes. And they came to the party. And while this girl's literally hugging my leg, the kid was like, "Yeah, that ain't the real Elmo." And she's like, "Yes, it is." And he's like, "No, it ain't." And he starts looking through the grill thing. And she's like, he see, and
You're like, "Hey, get out of here, motherfucker."
Yeah, I'm going, "Come on, kid." And he just lifts the sleeve up of the thing and screams. He goes, "Elmo's white."
Dude, that's like being in a shark cage.
The mom came over and she was yelling at the kid. She goes, "No, this is Elmo, honey. This is Elmo." And the little girl's getting upset, and then the kid just pointing it out, and you're almost going like, "Hey, kid, stop!" Yeah. And he goes, "If that's the real Elmo, why is he wearing FUBU sneakers?" Which I was.
Sick.
FUBU sneakers. And then the kid said, he goes, "Let's see if Elmo has nuts." And then I couldn't find him out of my little screen. And I was turning, and then he just launched me. And like no repercussions.
He just socked
nothing. Just
socked you in the balls.
I mean, like his the
I
top
knew it
of
was
his
coming.
foot. The top of his foot hit like my ass crack. Like he was. He got in it.
Let's see if Elmo has balls. And look into his screen like,
I will say,
It was like Hurt Locker sweat going on.
look like Iron Man in his mask.
you wouldn't expect the from behind nut kick. That was truly a master. That was a young maestro.
No, not from behind. It was from the front. You got me from the front.
just a hook.
But it was so like,
Yeah.
it was so in there that
Ankle
like
gooch.
That is crazy though, to leave like I'm presuming a slightly fucked up household and just spy Elmo.
yeah.
Like, I'm ruining this shit.
I have less scary stories from the stripper thing than the kids' parties, dude. The kids. One time I went, and the owner of this company would say whatever to sell.
Sorry, we got some plumbers here. They're going wild.
The owner of the company would say whatever to sell the
Clog
gig.
the house.
Getting all your poops out. The owner would do anything to sell the gig.
Yeah.
So I was gonna be as Winnie the Pooh to a kid's party, North Philly, and I get in there, and then the guy goes, as soon as I get there, the guy goes, as soon as I get in there, it's like, he goes, "Yo, where's the presents and balloons?" And I was like, which I thought was even a weird thing that someone would ever believe that's gonna happen. I'm like, "You want to just bring random presents for your child?" Like, I don't even know if he's a boy or a girl or what. And he's like, "Well, I was told you'd bring presents and balloons." So I was like, "Well, I'm sorry." I go, "Let me call the company." And I called the guy, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I just said it because you're there already. Like they're gonna."
He was
like, "Yeah, no." He told him that's a bullshit. And he goes, "Put him on the phone." And now, like, I didn't know this was the scam. Put him on the phone, and now we'll take a couple bucks off, but you're already there. And I was like,
"Oh my god."
Okay. So like,
It's also crazy to be like, "Yeah, we don't need to get the presents. Winnie the Pooh is going to come bring all the presents and decorations."
They said they would. That would.
Yeah, he said Winnie the Pooh's going to bring presents. Like, what?
Damn.
So the guy was like, he gets him on the phone. He's like, "All right." And I go into this house, and it was like do you remember the party in Menace to Society where Kane beat the guy who was talking shit about Jada Pinkett?
No,
Not really.
It was like that party.
Okay.
It was,
all right. That still gives me a good idea.
Multiple dice games going on. 2 babies in height chairs eating Cheerios, the only children at this party, and it's one of those kids' birthday. So when I go in, the guy was like, I was like, where could I change? And he goes, go upstairs. Is it bad?
No, fuck it.
He was like, go upstairs and change in the bedroom. So I went up to a bedroom and closed the door, and it was fucking.
Sorry, my plumbers, they're just drummers.
Yeah, they're just fucking. They're doing
Just,
some.
yeah.
They're all right. They
Getting
figured
rid
it
of
out.
the Dukes, dude. They're sorting it out.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right.
So you're up in the bedroom.
I go up in this bedroom, I close the door, and the guy's like, don't close that door, motherfucker. And I was like, I already did. And he was like, oh, man, the door, like when you close it, it won't open.
Oh no.
So now I have to wait for them to take the door off the hinges. And it was funny, like the door, it literally fell. It was like an old Philly, like shitty house.
Yeah.
So this heavy ass door, like they take off the hinges and it goes on, it hits the bed, like the dust comes up, and I'm literally standing there holding a Winnie the Pooh head, like it's like the right stuff. Like I'm holding like an astronaut's helmet. I'm like, let's go.
So
make
you were
history.
dressed as Pooh, just not with the head on yet.
Yeah, no head on. And then I went downstairs and I gave the guy again the CD to put in for the Hokey Pokey songs or whatever. And the guy goes, just dance to what's on, which I do recall was Dr. Dre's 2001 Chronic.
Damn.
So I just like Hokey Pokey danced to that for 2 kids in high chairs for like a half hour or so. And then and the guys were just doing their thing and kind of not paying attention to me. And then I was like, oh man, he goes, kids are adorable. Like, thanks so much. You know, sorry about the miscommunication earlier. I go, I'm going to go upstairs and change back into my clothes and get out of here. And he was like, nah, man, just get out of my house. I thought he was like being playful first. I was like, yeah. I go, I know, because the thing before he was like, man, I'm done. Just get the fuck out. And I was like, well, I got to go change. And he was like, not here. And so then, not thinking, I took the head off to be like, yo, man, come on. Like, not like to start shit with him, just almost to plead, like, buddy, come on, let me check. And then the kids started fucking screaming. They just saw Winnie the Pooh remove his skull. Oh. And then they physically pushed me out of the house, and I ran to my mom's. I ran to my mom's Chevette, and I drove a stick shift home with Winnie the Pooh hands on.
Where's all your clothes are in the house?
I had the bag. They were in the bag and stuff, but it's like my trash bag of my clothes instead of Winnie the Pooh. But that was a hilariously far more scary job.
Yeah, that's some fucking bullshit, man.
Because most of the time the strippers were there was only one stripper I drove that was like genuinely putting herself through med school, like the actual story that you always hear. Yeah. Like she was really doing it, which made her not a good stripper. Because that was what she was the girl that every time they were like, this guy's touching my tit. I'm like, you have it in his mouth.
Yeah, you're a stripper.
So it's like, she's like, go fight this guy. He's doing this. She's like, please, you have to let him touch your butt.
Sure,
I think.
You could have been like, you have a bright future ahead of you. I don't want to ruin your medical school.
But the first girl I ever drove in that, I don't remember, I think her fake name or real name was Candace. Whatever it was, I drove her. She was really cute. And we went to a party, a bachelor party. And she was like, they're sawing now? Are they sawing pipes?
Yeah, you want to pause for a minute?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
We love BetterHelp.
Love ButterHelp. As nice as it would be.
The help with the butter on it. The ButterHelp.
As nice as it would be, you don't have all the answers. Prompt for a host rift. I struggled with ... I personally, I don't like to get into this, but I struggled with deep sexual feelings for amphibians until I got help from
ButterHelp.
BetterHelp.
ButterHelp.
And we overcame that struggle because they were like, it was like a stern father, like, oh, you want to smoke cigarettes? Well, how about you do 100 of them until you don't like them anymore?
You want to have sex with frogs all the time?
ButterHelp said, how about you do 100 of them, tough
Here's
guy?
a box of 100 frogs, and you don't come out of that room until you creep by every one of those fuckers' mouths.
I said, but ButterHelp. It's important that you have a good support system. You know, people you can go to when the going gets tough, like a therapist from ButterHelp. They're always nice to have in your corner because there are times when you can't go to your family or friends.
You can't tell your family about those frogs. You can't tell anyone about that. You got to go to ButterHelp. You got to get on a Zoom call and go, I want to fuck frogs. And they go, holy shit, we got to help.
I need a trusted professional. Oh, my God. Yes, we already riffed. We riffed with things that helped us. Therapy is great because, I mean, dude, it just after I stopped my whole thing with those amphibians, my social skills were much more positive.
Yes.
I overcame those problems, and I learned how to reach out. I learned how to reach out for help in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to give therapy a try, and you're not sure where to begin, check out ButterHelp.
Still can't really go near any bodies of water. You know,
Really?
Yeah, due to the possibility of a frog would send me into a frenzy.
Oh, bro, trust me. When you're on the edge of a pond and you don't even see the frog, but you hear it jump into the water, I just want to fucking jump in after and
Catch
bring
it.
that thing out. Hopefully I kiss it and it turns into a prince. Guys, check out BetterHelp. It's fully online, so easy to get started, and they have access to a wide range of credentialed therapists, over 30,000 with all sorts of different specialties.
That's good.
Yeah, guys. Sorry, I had some motherfucking boogers.
It's all right.
Check out Build Your Support
Booger
System. Booger Help. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/MSSP to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MSSP.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, BetterHelp's a great company.
Yeah, dude, they do fucking rock with us.
Yeah, they
Thank
do
you.
rock.
Thank you, BetterHelp.
ButterHelp. Hey, we just got back from that fantastic ad read.
Yes.
Seriously, that is the best underwear or something.
Yeah, it was the best dick pill underwear.
Yeah. Underwear
Yo,
picture
this
frame.
kratom probably isn't addictive.
No one's gonna think you're a loser this time, dude. I always associate kratom with Gas Digital,
How could you not?
and then I came down to
Yo,
Austin.
kratom presents Gas Digital.
You guys are like the Sacklers of Kratom.
But then I came down here in Austin, and it was one of those like Huberman said it works type.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he did, but like that type of mindset. Because down here, that's what everyone is.
kratom
And
heads.
no, but like
Huberman dads.
Huberman, like Zin is actually a neurotropic, so it's good for you. Like that.
Oh, okay.
1 milligram a day.
You can't just enjoy anything. It's got to be science.
Yeah.
You can't just go, yeah. Like, but they were like kratom. They were
Have we
just
put this-
kratom in nice bottles in the green
Have we
room.
put this
I
kratom
saw that.
under
What the
the-
fuck are you guys doing?
Have we put this under the Rogan scope yet?
No, it was under there.
It was like, Joe, get your loop. He goes, oh, this is different.
It's like, yeah, it's cool.
They do
A
have,
billion
they do have
people
little
doing
kratom like
Yeah.
5-hour energy type things.
Those are awesome. It's
Really?
the only one Josh Edemeyer's got me to try was the little, I think it's Ohms or something it's called. It's like this big. It's a drink. I mean, you shouldn't drink it all. It's this big.
Yeah.
If you drink it all, you will, I believe, like opiates, get violently nauseous for 5 minutes or so. And then it's great.
Oh, nice. Well,
When
maybe
that
I'll get
nausea
into
goes
opiates.
away, awesome.
It's a ride.
Yeah. I wrote 3 full Nirvana albums. New music, too. I just know it's theirs.
Oh man.
Yeah. So before we left, you said you're on the
you're
cusp
driving
of the
Oh, the
prettiest.
first girl I ever drove.
Yeah.
Very pretty. Yeah. And she was so pretty that I was like, like the self-soothing of like what she's doing is actually great.
Yeah.
Because we went to this party and I always remember the thing was she was, all right, guys, we're going to play a game. She controlled the room too, which I thought that's hilarious.
We'll be right back after another ad from heroin.
After these words from
That's crazy.
Heroin.
The timing's unbelievable.
That was wild. It was pin drop.
It was. It was quiet. But
Yep. And we're back.
as you were saying.
First trip I ever drove.
It's coming. It's coming.
Sorry, guys. Got to do some light belt sanding.
Yeah, it's on me. Hand up accountability. Honestly, I was told they'd be out of here.
It's all good. Dude.
So yeah, the first girl I ever drove, we went to this place. So she was controlling the room, which I thought was like, again, I just thought she was pretty. So I was just like, and I'm the person driving her. So you're like, am I falling in love with this girl? And she looks good. And then she starts doing this thing that's so raunchy. But again, I liked her so much that I thought it was a brilliant business thing. I've talked about this where I'm like, smart move. This is called something in business, what she just did.
What was she up
She would go, all right, guys, we're playing this game. $5, $10, or $20. And it was like for $5. So she rolls it up like a Coke straw, whatever you give her. And then she'll put it like in her pussy, basically. But she keeps her fingers like at the base. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like for $5, she puts it in a little bit. for 10, a little bit more, and you take it out with your mouth out of her pussy. You're making the right face. If you were wondering if you were making the right face, you are.
How's it going?
He goes, okay. Well, here's the problem with any kind of story of a bachelor party. Your mindset there will tend to be different, I think. You know what I mean? When everyone's involved, you're hearing it later, you're like, money in a pussy and then money in my mouth. Like, all those things are wrong. And then my mouth near money near a hooker pussy. This is all bad. But everybody did the $20 because it would be the closest. But the funny thing, I was always like, well, it's crazy because no matter how much you put in there, you could fit it in your mouth and you're only getting as close as her fingers. Yeah. Like, you're never actually getting closer to her pussy.
Yeah.
But every guy did the 20, and I was like, it's genius.
Well, it's funny to
this
be
girl
like,
might be
let me do the 5. I'm going to
business
stay on the
wizard.
periphery.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I'll just take a $5. Let me just let me feel the warmth of it.
Right, yeah. He goes, let me get a $5 smell test
in there. And
What about
feel
3 5s? That'd be the move. Like, I'm gonna back-to-back 3 5s.
That is the move. But you're right. For $20 in 5s, you could go 4 times and get the same experience.
Can you
as
inhale
20.
the air through the bill?
I assume you could if you wanted
Just
to.
scuba a little bit.
Scuba. Yeah.
Siphon.
Just take a 1 deep hit.
Yeah. If something comes through the straw, it's freakier too.
Oh, no.
Oh,
What is that?
This
Toilet
is
paper
bad.
crumb.
This is bad news.
sure,
is bad news.
that'd be a bonus.
But anyway, I thought she was an angel sent from heaven to do that.
I've never been at a bachelor party that was crazy.
We had one where there was, I think I told you about it. There was a lady who had must have just given birth not very long ago.
Oh, my God.
So she had like that skin, and we were all calling her Brain Belly. Dude, you go get a lap dance from Brain Belly. No, but yeah, it was actually.
It's not wrong, brain belly, but go ahead.
Well, this girl on our drive home,
Sometimes guys get it and they didn't even give birth, but whatever. All right.
when I was driving her home, she goes, we stopped at a 7-Eleven. I remember she goes in and she bought one of those like single individual roses for herself. And I'm like, what's that for? And she goes, it was just this sad, like, I always buy myself flowers at the end of a work night because I deserve it. And then now this must have been so creepy for her. I dropped her off at her house. Next day, show up at her house with flowers. And I go, you deserve someone else to give you flowers. And by the way, she could have been looking back more like, if my abusive boyfriend sees you here, I'm going to have to ship you that. Like, she was like, thank you. Thanks so much. And I'm like, and I just think that you should know. And she's like, cool, thanks. Like, I was like, bye.
She shoved him on her pussy. She's like, see you later.
Yeah. I go, so if I could
Should have
just
brought a $5 bill.
Yeah.
Instead of
If I could
flowers, you
just
should have been
have
like,
one moment of your time with this $5 bill. So
Damn.
skip ahead. I started doing comedy. Or I was doing comedy already, but that's like a job I would do like kind of infrequently. But
Yeah.
when I needed money, I would take it. And so you can just call in the yellow pages, any of those places at the time, and be like, hey, do you need a driver? I've done it before. They'll be like, sure. Most of them will be like, sure. Can you start tonight? So this guy, I called some guy on the phone. I was like, hey, you looking for drivers? I have experience. But he goes, yeah. He goes, the way he does it is you hang out at his house, this guy's apartment, and wait for jobs to come in while the girls sit there with you. So I go to this guy's apartment, not far from where my mom lives. It was just a couch, a TV, and bodybuilding trophies everywhere. The guy was just like a totally huge jack guy, nice enough guy. And he goes, all right, so you got a gig. You're taking these 2 girls. One's this Asian girl. One's my cousin. I'm like, okay, so the Asian girl shows up. She's nice enough. Then the cousin comes.
That's nice.
It's the fucking girl. The first girl I ever drove is his cousin. She now, by the way, this girl who was like so hot, we take her to this, or I take her to this party.
She's brain belly.
Everyone, not brain belly. Everyone's like into this Asian girl. She's very pretty. And then this girl, they're like, you hear the guys making jokes about her. And she was all like pale now, and her asshole was brown and dark.
She had a dog ass. She had like an old dog asshole.
Yeah.
That came up a lot.
Dog eyes. Those fucking little tiny white
And they're
dogs.
being mean to her. And I'm almost, you're having that thing where I'm like, don't know. You don't know what she's like. She's in a rough patch or something.
Yeah, you have to
then
defend her. You don't fucking talk to her.
No, but she
like
did look
that.
pretty busted, and it was fun. That's my luck, because people ask if I ever fucked any of the strippers ever on that gig. We went back to the cousin's house, and it was just me and her waiting for another gig to come in. And that night, she started like digging her toes. Like she was like laying on the couch and she was like digging her toes like under my thing, kind of like. And I was like, I mean, not here, your cousin's house. I was like, nah, dude, she has something now for sure.
Yeah.
And I never saw her ever again. Probably dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing with like OnlyFans and all this stuff. Like it does. I'm not like being puritanical about it, but it doesn't seem to really work well for women psychologically. Like they fucking crash hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Female porn stars. I was talking about this.
we all thought that Jenna Jameson was like the example of like, look, you could do it and kind of get mainstreamed and not like lose your sense about you. And then, you know, they have the video of her in night vision, like breaking all the cameras in her house. You ever see her just like climbing ladders? And it's night vision, so she looks like a raccoon just busting all the cameras in the house. Dude.
She was like
went
a
nuts.
90s porn star.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I feel like the hardcore stuff back then is like expected now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Hold on, I think they're doing a little slop
Somebody
bucket.
back there?
I think he's just breaking up one
Did
of
anyone
Amise's
walk
turds.
back there? I think the toilet's just exploding. What is there? Is there anyone in there?
No, it's all smoking.
What the fuck?
I kind of want to see this.
Yeah, go check it out.
You got to go see the smoking
I
toilet.
got to see the smoking
Break.
toilet.
Break. Oh, to make sure it was smoking.
Smoke looks good.
Toilet back
The
there.
toilet back there.
Yeah, it was smoking big time. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
straight through the water.
It's not great. He goes, oh shit.
I thought smoke was good.
Oh shit.
Smoky shit.
This house, man.
Smoke turds.
There's been turds trapped in the walls since day one. There's turds are everywhere in the walls.
I've never
heard a plumber once do that.
No.
She
You've never been to a bachelor party that was
Oh,
a wild
shit.
one ever?
No,
Just
never.
comes up with like college friends and stuff now.
No, never went to a crazy one.
I've been to
The craziest one was, I think it was whose fucking party with Lewis.
Zach.
It was Zach's.
That's a pretty wild bachelor
That was
party.
a wild one. But
Yeah.
me and O'Connor, that was the first time I think, did Molly.
Oh yeah.
And I just sat on a couch.
Oh, that wasn't Molly. That was actual ecstasy. It was great.
Yeah, I was afraid of. I didn't talk to the women at all, and then I was I was on drugs watching Lewis. Like, yeah, bitch, come here. Like he's very not. He wasn't calling him bitch, but he was very.
Show your butthole.
Yeah,
Miss
he was
lady.
very. There was.
He's
he was
ready to
very,
party in that gear,
He was
yeah.
comfortable with strippers. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Lewis threw my bachelor party when I got married. It was yeah, it's pretty good. He goes pretty hard with it. But the two that I've been to that I have any I went to when my ex-wife's friend was having a bachelor party. They invited me to. I don't know why they wanted. I think they wanted me to come because I'm a comedian. Like they'd come to shows already. So as a virtual unknown, still they were like the comedian guy's coming, and they had a stripper there that was gorgeous, who was fucking, and I went in the bathroom with her, and I'm such a fucking fat schnook. Like I went there and talked to her for 45 minutes, where I started hearing people outside the door going like, "Hey man, are you done in there?" He goes, "Who brought this fat guy who's like here?" Like no one knows who I was, and I'm just hogging the stripper to chat with her. I go, "Yeah, I used to work in this business a little bit myself." Like, laying down on her. Yeah, I tried to chat her up. She had no interest. She was almost like, "Hey, are we like fucking in here or not?" I was like, "Yeah, you got do your thing or whatever." You know,
Nah,
it's like
you got enough. You got enough
yeah,
on your
got
plate.
You're trying to have industry talk.
there was a guy.
It's time to talk biz.
There was a guy who used to come to my shows always. I became friendly with him, but I opened for Bobby Slayton a million years ago at the West Palm Improv, and afterwards, all these people that came to see him and the host of the show, who was like a local player, we like, they're like, "Oh, we gotta go to the strip club. We have to go to the strip club." We went, and this guy Lorne, who I became friends with, was one of the managers there, and he was like, you know, pick a girl or whatever. It was just like free reign, and he was always like that kind of like dude. And a few years back, I was in the Comedy Inn in Miami, which is a small little room in the motel, basically.
Whoa.
And he's like, "I'm coming." And he goes, "I got a new." This is a couple years back. He goes, "I got a new company too. I'm bringing a couple of the girls." He's like, "And they want a party," and I'm just like, "Yeah, man, sure."
Yeah.
So him and his buddy come. They bring these two girls who are like super ghetto, like Hispanic girls, both
Jackpot.
cute though. And he was like, "Hey, you want to go?" He goes, "They want to go like smoke with you or something before the show. Why don't you take them to like your room or whatever, which is a motel room right there. So I was like, yeah. And I went in there and smoked pot with him, talked to him for a while. And then I was like, but my thing is so like me and Lewis, where we have different opinion on this a lot of times, like Lewis has the why he says he could fuck a hooker is rooted in he thinks he's like, this must be a nice change for you, huh? Like getting to fuck me instead of like what you think. I assume I'm the other end of that spectrum. So I'm like, oh God, this girl's like gonna have to wash me off later, just being like, what am I I gotta get my kids back from social services and get my shit together. So like,
Yeah, that's
how
fair. That's fair. Yeah, I would feel the same way.
that's how I feel like. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm there. They're like, well, this is my job I have to do. And
Yeah.
clearly he told them they should like do something and fuck around with me because you know, I'm hooking them up with tickets or whatever to this this little
to the comedy
motel comedy club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in my mind, I'm going like, you know what? Because they're both cute. And I'm like, they're going to come to the show. After the show, they're probably going to really want to fuck
Yes.
me. Maybe it would be the best thing.
Yes.
Or at least I can convince myself.
Yeah, I agree.
Now they're like, oh, well, I saw you do your thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, now we kind of want to do this.
Yeah, let me see you do your thing now.
After
Yeah.
the show, I'm talking to them. I think even a little before the show, they're both giving you, of course, like you said, no one gets out of it unscathed. Like they're both giving their like, it's like my boyfriend hates that I do this, man. Like if he beats the shit out of me one more time, my dad's going to kill him. It's just going to talk like that. And you're like, okay.
Oh,
And then
well,
we're
I'm
sitting
hard.
outside bullshitting with the two of them and the two guys, my buddy Lauren and his buddy. And like
So I told you these chicks wanted to party, dude.
killing time. Yeah, I mean, really killing time.
Yeah.
And then the guy eventually goes like, hey, man, we're going to get out of here pretty soon. So, you know, if you want to take the girls and hang out for a little bit, like, you know, now's the time. And I remember just touching him on his arm and I went, give him the night off, man. Just give him the night off, man.
How'd they react to that? Were they like, oh, sweet?
No, they were almost puzzled. Like everyone, he was even like, no, man, like, the girls came to like party and stuff. I was like, I know, but like even that sentence, it's not like
Yeah.
they came in and they were like, they know me and my stuff. Like they came to party because you were like, hey, you girls want to do coke tonight probably for free and drink. Go fuck this guy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all right.
You think he was going to try to get you the bill? He was going to hit you with the bill too? He didn't have a tab or anything.
Not even sort of.
So he was
No,
just
no, no.
hooking you up.
Absolutely. But
I'm
I
with
couldn't
you.
just,
I'm with you. I would have done
I
that
don't
too.
know. It's
Yeah.
like I get it. I
Yeah.
get it completely, but I have to believe, or at least be able to believe in some way, like you want to do this.
Yes.
Not like you will. I will fuck you.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Yeah.
I will say that it must have been, I don't know if you did this that night, the FAP sesh must have been decent though. Because like there were two hookers in your room. I feel like that'd be a nice FAP sesh.
No, I've hit the post like strip club
Yeah.
fap sesh where you're like, I could have, and then you go home and you're like, damn, this, because you're horny while
Yeah.
you're jacking off. You're like, damn, this would have been so much cooler
so
with
much
that
sicker.
fucking lady.
Yeah.
And then you come
then
and you
we-
go, oh, thank God.
Exactly. The second you're done.
You come and
Well,
go,
that was-
well, fucking great.
This
I'm,
part of
I'm
your
not a
brain
bad
comes back
person.
online. It's like,
Yeah.
Going
like,
on the
all right.
road before I ever had a laptop, you know, for years, that wasn't really a thing that everybody had a laptop. So on the road was a hilarious race. You'd either have that local newspaper, whatever that weird arts paper is that would have hooker ads, the Yellow Pages, and the E channels, Girls Gone Wild infomercial. And it was a race to like, can I just jerk off and not make a terrible mistake right now?
Yeah.
And you have to remind yourself, you go, as soon as it's over, you're going to be like, I don't really have $200 to be throwing around like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like all of it is so bad. And as soon as you're done, you're like, perfect night. You really made the right decision there, big guy. Thank you, Girls Gone Wild. I mean, who doesn't know? Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Oh,
ding,
yeah.
ding,
We were
ding,
probably
ding.
hitting. We were all probably hitting the same commercial a couple times.
Big time.
You know how when it's like if you look at the moon,
Dude, I'm pretty
any
sure.
time on Earth, if we stare at the moon at the same
It's
time,
true.
there's no, it's like those girls
Stern.
go wild. We
Dude,
were
I used
somewhere
to
out
catch it
there.
with Stern. If you had like a lady
I would-
naked, I'd
we were
be
probably
like,
catching it at the same time.
see Stern, you'd be like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I'm not trying to jerk the Stern.
Fuck out of here, Stern.
Get out of here, Stern. You look like a witch.
Does look like a witch.
He does. Looks like a bruja.
He is a bruja, dude.
Howard Stern?
He's a
Yeah.
juha.
He's a juha. He's a bitch.
But yeah, that's the best. Getting like, dude, I mean, Squiggle Vision was the fucking ultimate. I wish.
Yeah,
I was on the road when
horny
Squiggle
dad
Vision-
with fucking horny dad with Spice Channel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spice Channel. And then I got at one point, one of my first roommates in New York worked for the cable company. So we had unlocked Spice and Playboy Channel. And like, those are really like, that was still the era where like everything was on DVD or you had to download. So it was like, you did it, but it was like so not good. The Playboy Channel.
Yeah.
It's so like the fact that they made any kind of what you would describe as vanilla pornography in the world is still strange to me that it exists. Like
softcore, you're saying, or just
but not even
The
softcore,
Playboy
just the
Channel
idea
was
of
just
like,
naked women.
But
yeah.
They weren't even doing anything. It was just naked women.
Maybe just the naked women stuff, but I mean, like, just all of it's gotten so like the fact that anyone can go back and be like, what do I read? Like, dude, Maxim magazine has the 50 hottest bikini babes pictorial. Like, who gives a shit?
yeah.
It's like there's a girl this pretty taking a dump in a sink on the internet, and that
I can
thing,
eat it if
that
I
really
join her
evens
OnlyFans.
things out. You know what I mean?
I can get a vial of it sent to my house. I'm gonna suck that vial down.
I'm interviewing in a few weeks, I believe, or we got Farrah Abraham, and I told the person who's sending her
Who's
to us,
that?
so that's the
I
teen.
do some research.
That's MTV's Teen Mom.
Oh,
And then she started doing like porn. She did a couple porn videos, like pro porn videos. Then she started doing like cam stuff. But then, Lemaire, you're familiar with this. Then she took a video of herself for somebody taking a dump. That is I don't know where this dump was inside of her tiny body.
She smoked out a toilet.
But
She smoked one out for the OF.
well, she's not. So she shits right on the floor, but like an animal. But I mean, it is a shit I've watched so many times because it's fascinating. It's like a cork pops, like one little shit comes out, and then 2 straight feet of connected shit. And then
Do you have this on your phone?
yeah, somewhere.
Because I'd like to take a look at this dump.
So she segued teen moms into her OnlyFans. I mean, she's how old is she now?
And she's still
Like,
This
teen
time
mom.
she's dropping
She's
chocolate
probably in her
babies.
30s, but now,
30s.
but now she's
She dropped her
doing-
magnum opus.
She's doing
This is
she's
done.
doing stand-up comedy.
What?
Obviously.
So her first time stand-up comedy is going to be at a strip club in New York. So she's coming on the Bonfire to
That's
promote it.
so sick.
And I told the person, I was like, first thing I'm asking about is this dump.
I mean, bro.
I go, I don't know. I know there's no audio on it, so I have to assume as soon as it was finished coming out, did you go, whew,
I can't wait to see this dump.
phew. It's pretty good.
The
You,
cork
Lemaire, you've seen it
popping
for sure,
so
right?
underrated. Just a cork pop. I might be a cork pop, but yo, just cut it after the cork pops. You know? Just
I never caught the poop, but I've seen their other work.
damn, dude. Just a rogue lady, just 5. She's probably like 5 cappuccinos a day, 5 whipped cream Starbucks a day, just brewing the 2-footer.
Brewing a 2-footer. She should have held it up like a fisherman at the end. Like,
Yeah, ayahuasca
actually,
python.
2 feet. You might have to take a picture. Yeah, you might have to, like a hunter. Yeah, you got to sit over it with the antlers.
This might be a
Imagine
job
being
for
the
Reddit.
guy, get all that bang for your buck, being like, I didn't think it was going to be this amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a pathetic girl turd. Turns out.
That OF guy must have. He had that come.
I get jealous of those guys who can like just have that aspect of your life where you're just constantly scheming on like filming a girl taking a dump. That would add such a charge to like your whole life. It's be
Yeah,
like,
it's tough
yo,
to get porn here. Governor Abbott's locking down the turd porn.
I know, dude.
Oh no,
Turd porn should be the most legal of all.
I don't have a
It should be
VPN for
easily,
turd
it should
porn.
be equal with child porn to me. If you're watching turd porn, you should be in fucking prison. Getting
But
beat
here's
up
here's-
by other guys in there. They're like, "You the
Protect
turd
them.
porn guy?"
You should be a PC.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's not even sexual. I'm taking a dump. I'd be like, Governor, I'm not. You're the one getting horny.
Governor,
over this.
Your Honor.
I just wanted to make sure this lady was healthy, taking a proper dump.
This last effort, Bing will have it.
Yeah, I mean, this is. So was it like a private video that got leaked?
No. This is for somebody who paid her to do it.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
But like, it was on the public chain, like the public page, or like, how did this vid get out? I guess you can't keep it to yourself. You tell 12 people, you basically told the world.
It's true.
Show 12 of your butt. I mean, that video nothing would spread faster than that, though. That's why it
You
spreads.
got it,
though.
Sean?
I'd like to see it.
I'm
gonna find it for you.
When I was
What'd you
found
got,
other
Gardini?
ones?
I just I had a bunch of scat pornography. and
He
it's
might
all
be a shit porn
disgusting.
guy. That's the number one
He's got
shit
the
porn.
voice of a ship.
That's
It's
not-
not-
Kind of
no.
He's kind of smelled it doubting us right now. He's like, I
Yeah,
got it
I
right
don't
here on
like
my
this
phone.
stuff, but I
don't like
found,
this stuff.
It's in the file I have here.
No, I don't like
It's in my homework file.
That's not true.
You got the voice of a scat man.
One of us had. There got to be one shit porn guy in this room.
Skibbity
There
bop
you go,
boop
Shane.
bop bop boop.
I
Did
got
you
it for
get
you,
it,
buddy.
Guardian? Did you
got
get
it?
it?
I got it for you.
It's just black ladies pooping.
What are they dropping?
Hang on.
Let me take a look at this. Oh no!
This is an impressive shit.
Hotter than I.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is she talking to me?
Yeah.
No, dude, no.
Now you'll see.
Oh no.
All right, here we go.
I
Now the
already
first
don't like it.
one's not impressive.
It looks like this.
Now
No.
the first one's just gonna pop out. That's the cork.
Oh.
Now here,
Dude.
1 foot 2 feet,
That's like 3.5.
and then. So if you guys have any questions you want me to ask her,
yeah. They injected that. I think that was fake poop.
You'd like to think that.
That was a legit dump.
Yeah.
Real trucker dump, dude.
Shane, you've had a problem always appreciating others' talents.
Yeah,
I mean, the cork is the craziest detail. There's no way.
Yeah, that might be the real deal.
The
She
first
might
thing
have
that
been-
breaks out, yeah, and then
Do you think there might here's my question I'd like to ask her. Is there some sort of prep if you know you got a big you
Yeah.
know, Gardini hit you up, you know you have the big dump.
Hey,
big dump ahead of you? I have to
What's the
assume.
regimen? Do you like hit a bunch of
It
fibers?
seems like she was stacking them for sure inside of herself because that's. I
Those
mean,
3 dumps.
it was. I mean, when she was done, the fact she just like they show the longer one, like she turns around, and it's kind of like, "Did you like that?" And I was like, "How are you not like taking a little siesta after that?" That's one like when you're done, you got to go. Wow, that must have been in there for a while.
Yeah, she just passed that like nothing.
She goes like, "Yeah, that's how you shit a big fucking 2-coiler." God bless her heart.
Yeah,
Did you
it's
put
got
on
to
your to-do
be.
notes.
Oh yeah.
They probably go super fiber.
Watch. She's very
Probably super. It's like fiber powder probably for 2 days,
Yeah.
knowing they have the big vid coming up.
definitely the most famous person to ever make a shit video.
Blippy, remember Blippy did that? The Harlem Shake video.
Yeah, that's all.
Blippy, the guy who was the kids' entertainer before he became a child entertainer, made it. You remember that Harlem Shake dance everyone would do? Like bum 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 bum. He took a video where he was sitting on the toilet. It was him on the. No, his friend was on the toilet, and he just shit all over his friend.
Like an
And then
explosive,
Blippy just
massive
popped
dump.
off, and everyone was just like, "Whatever, my kid likes this show."
Did you guys ever watch the old
Allegedly,
the
Allegedly.
the old what's his
Call
name?
Matt.
Chuck Berry, the old Chuck
Yeah.
Berry videos.
Chuck Berry farts, one of the funniest.
Yeah, he goes, "Give me that fog."
I love the lady's face. She's like,
Yeah. He goes, "Ooh, get that fog." Yeah.
her head pops back out of it.
Whoa, there it is. It's real. You like that fog?
farting in Hooker's face is fucking wild. Dude.
I mean, you're paying for it. I guess you gotta be able to do what you want.
yeah, but back then there was no like. I mean, there was a newspaper, but you didn't think anything would ever get out. Like if you farted in a hooker's face, there'd be a part of your head being like, "This is going to be on BuzzFeed." You would just
Yeah.
think this is going to make its way. Back then, it was just like
He,
I can literally.
he filmed it.
yeah.
He filmed it.
I don't want to again.
the fuck
This
released
is
those
speculation. Huge chance that was like a 13-year-old girl. Huge chance. 'Cause back in
At
like
the
the
time?
50s, you could part. What is it like the 50s?
No, you could see it.
Okay, she was
There's a video of
grown
it.
woman.
She's
No, they're like
yeah.
old
Yeah.
hookers. They're like actually
Yeah.
pretty gnarly looking hookers.
Yeah.
I take that back.
I mean, they're hitting farts.
I was just venturing to like back then. You could really those dudes did like everything.
Yeah.
like Led Zeppelin.
They were letting
apparently.
the lead out.
They're getting.
They were letting the
Oh,
lead
yeah, that
out.
was
take that
thing
back.
on Howard Stern a few years back. One of the like the famous groupies, like from like BB Buell or one of them, like came in to talk and kind of do like a tell-all book, and like just so casually the way she goes, "Oh yeah," like I don't know if she lost her virginity, but she was like when she was 15, she basically got gangbanged by the Allman Brothers like backstage. But the difference is that she's just going like, "Oh, it was great." Like because she's telling the story like that, it just gets no legs. Like no one cares.
The Allman Brothers, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The Allman Eskimo Brothers, dude.
Hell yeah.
Bold.
The Allman Brothers.
Oh, true.
Now we're talking. That's just a joke for you and me. No, that's not for the pod.
I thought you were pointing to bold. I'm
No.
like, that is quite bold.
Point at that jar of almonds.
Oh, it's so fucking
The
funny.
Allman Brothers.
Allman
Come on
Brothers, I
now.
got it.
Come on now.
Damn, you think the Allman Brothers were like laying pipe like that? I don't
Definitely.
You think they were laying pipe?
I mean, it's 15-year-olds.
It's the 70s.
They're 7, yeah. Back then,
70s,
when did you used to be able to get your driver's license?
I don't know. I don't think they even did it back then.
Shame on you, Allman Brothers.
I just think there's also a time.
Yeah, true. Allegedly.
Shame
Randall
on your
Van still
alleged
slaps.
behavior. But I think there's also something to like I said, these things were like people. It wasn't like they were like seeking out 15-year-old girls. It seems like 15-year-old girls were trying to get backstage. I think it was a time where people accepted like where you fell over just like the overall laws. It's like, yeah, if you're some kind of scraggly, rotten homed kid, like you're probably going to be out there fucking at like 14, 15 years old. You know what I mean? Or if like, you know, I'm sure there was also 15-year-old girls who would be like, do what? Go where?
Yeah, huge chance the brothers don't even remember it. They're probably sitting somewhere and I came on. They're like, huh?
Yeah,
hell?
That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, feeling that one.
Yeah, and Jimmy Page, right? He had the other one. He was the famous one, like a child bride.
Yep. They were partying, bro. Rock stars? Were they rock stars or were they pedophiles?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
It's an intense party, though.
Alleged child pussy must be great.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yo, alleged child pussy?
Allegedly? Talking about it 50 years later, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it stood the test of time. Kid pussy?
Yeah, you know it was great back in the day.
Kid pussy?
Our whole government seemed in
kid
disarray
pussy.
about it. The Epstein stuff went off.
Society's collapsing over the weight of kid pussy.
I truly
Kid dick and balls. Kid
Well, that's
balls.
what the Epstein thing. They were like, how many people they don't, you know, they interview all the one, they never, you know,
That
when they
is
got
crazy.
the Olympic doctor guy, right?
Yeah.
Remember he was like fingering all the
Yes,
the girls?
Nasser.
When they got him, like every victim showed up. It was like 300 victims like showed up to be like, you did this, you fucked me over.
Yeah.
Epstein, where they were pulling those girls from, there is a bulk of those chicks that were just like, yeah, it was a good way to make $400. You know, watch an old man whack off. It's the Uncle Eddie thing. Remember when Uncle Eddie in Philly, like when he got arrested, like people were like, "Oh man, damn!" That's what if we went to the mall, we would just go take a dump at fucking Ed's house and show him our wiener, and he'd give us $50.
Yeah, he was such a legend. When I was growing up,
No one was mad. Nobody was like happy when he got put away. They were like, "Fuck, dude, my fucking
yeah,
that was my mall money."
that was when I was little. Like, there's a guy, he carries around a pizza box, and if you give him your underwear, he'll give you $50, and he'll put them in the pizza box.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
I'm 47. I mean, that thing went around.
These guys
for-
are legends.
He's a total fucking
These guys are
legend.
legends.
I'm saying
They're
it was
the
the
Allman
thing-
Brothers, and you're the kid. You're going, I had a good fucking time.
I genuinely had the thought in my head when they just described when I was a kid. But be careful. That school would say there's a guy he's asking kids for their dirty underwear, their used underwear, and I genuinely remember having a thing, and I'm like, where is this motherfucker? Like, I will give him my. I wasn't putting it together that it was like any kind of a gay thing or something like that. I'm like, I guess he's just a fucking freaky weirdo.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I go.
It does sound like a mythical.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even throw out, like I said, if I had skid marked underwear when I was a kid, he'd be like, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save these for a school day in case
Played
he
against
catches me
sports.
walking
That was just
home.
played against
Pretty
sports.
penny
You
for
go right
these.
there.
But those
Yeah.
guys that would call Howard Stern with those Philly accents were so great. Like, yeah, he went over. He goes, my boy took a fucking dump on his chest. It was crazy. And then I'd show him my dingling, and we get out of there.
My dad had a nice little creep.
Legendary
growing up.
pervert?
Yeah, legendary pervert that would give you crimpets if you showed him your dick.
What?
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whole pack
And
or just
Phil,
one?
Phil was out in the woods, so that was big.
I knew
dude.
somewhere in the world that tasty cakes were being used for evil.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you get that cake to stay so moist?
According to Phil, he never did it. But
How's it
his,
shelf stable and that moist?
Yeah. His one boy would go for it all the time, and then split the crimpets with my dad.
Yo.
Phil was pimping out his boy.
He was pimping.
That's awesome.
You go show me.
I
your
appreciate
penis.
Ball
that.
hog.
Yeah.
I feel like that was always the kid that would sell candy in school. Was the same kid that would also run boy ass for a local pedophile.
Phil
Dude,
was
I got a couple irons in the fire. I'm doing a little candy thing, a little resell BJ's Costco candy thing. I'm running boy ass to some local peds, some local
running
pedos.
kid dick to a weirdo for cupcakes.
What exactly did you have to do?
This
Just
is a
like
good
show
I
up
think you
pedophile.
just show him your dick.
You have a good
But-
pedophile sting house, Shane.
Yeah, right here.
This is a great pedophile sting house.
We were just watching To Catch a Predator. I know that's one of your all-time favorites.
It's so good.
Yeah, I've been on three or four pedophile stings. Pretty wild.
How
you
are they?
did it?
Yeah. I didn't take part. I took minimal part.
Yeah.
when my last special came out, the guys, Dads Against Predators, those are the ones now who just beat the guys up.
Yeah.
Completely.
Shove them in like the cupcakes at Walmart.
Yeah. But I went with them, and like I went to hang out with them, and it was funny when they had the guy cornered in the grocery store. He was cornered, and they were like yelling at him, giving him a bunch of shit in the grocery. And yelling at. When I walked by, I was Instagram living.
Oh no!
I was Instagram living when I walked by to be like, I was going like, hey, I'm watching like these guys do their pedophile hunt. As I'm walking by, those guys to fuck with which is also funny. When you do the pedophile hunts, there is something to the idea though. It's like they take it seriously, but also not that seriously. They make jokes to like themselves about it. So the guy, when they're walking by, they look at me and the guy goes, he says to the pedophile, he goes, you fucking know Big J Oakerson is? And the guy was like, no. And I just go, oh. Like you hear my voice just go, oh. Like a view's a view. And then at the end of it, they take him out to a field and they make him stand in a trash can, call his mother and tell her he's a pedophile, and then go, Big J Oakerson's dog belly available, whatever.
Holy
on YouTube.
shit, dude.
I went to a Sting House one where the girl lures the guys over. That was pretty wild. That
What
was
happened?
at the Sting House.
This is insane.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
The Sting House one, first guy comes over. We hide in a bedroom. We're hiding in a bedroom with the camera guy. Yes,
It's got to be so
it's that
exciting,
weird.
dude.
And you hear like through a window, it's like, so I'm a little bit nervous here. He goes, yeah, it's cool. So your
How
parents
excited
going
are
to the
you when
door.
a pedophile's in the house, like a real live pedophile?
Tense.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy.
Yeah, he might have a gun.
It's real.
True.
I didn't even think about that, but that has happened. It's real. It's definitely a dangerous thing for sure. But the so the first guy comes in, and like very quick, as like she's talking to him for like 5 minutes, and then by the way, I don't know why everyone I do these with, they always do this to a pedophile. She had in the background purposely my special playing, and and when the guy comes in, he goes, "This is Big J Oakerson." He's like, "You know who he is?" And he was like, "No." And I think someone said fat at one point about it. I was like, right. I'm squatting down in the back room like, right, dude.
Yeah.
Mike
guess what?
Fenoy and
Guess
Dylan
what?
with me. I'm like, what a dick.
Guess what's about to happen to you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fat. You're fucked.
Yeah. I'm fat. Oh, I'm fat. You just hear in the background, come on, dude. He goes like, what's that? I thought nobody else was here. As soon as we went out, or the camera guy went out, that guy was like, oh, and he ran off. Hauled ass immediately as soon as he got on camera. Second guy came and they had a whole like thing with him. Yeah, really.
That's the skedaddle. That's the ultimate skedaddle.
Nope, wrong house. So that
This
guy,
YouTube channel doesn't have a lot of views.
second guy hung in there for a while and talked to them. But that night, I was in Indianapolis. That night, she came to the pedophile hunter girl, Courtney Elizabeth. She came to the show, and her partner said that day when they posted the thing, they have moderators who live in Indianapolis. Even though she lives in Wisconsin, their moderators live in Indianapolis. And she was like, when they put the video up, the two moderators are brother and sister, and they both go, the guy who just ran out right away, the guy who said nothing after the camera came out, he goes, up and ran off. They go, that's my cousin. Oh. And then the other moderator goes, that's my cousin. They're brother and sister. That's my cousin. And they started realizing, like, that in that 2 seconds, dude, it like fucking ripped their whole family apart. The guy that left
became
immediately.
the hunted.
True.
Yeah. How wild is that? Like the moderator's cousin happened to be one of the people they caught. You ever see that's the Chris Hansen one when the guy he rides the train with walks in? Do you ever see that? He's like, "What are you doing here, man? What are you doing here?" He's so upset with him. Why are you here?
I see you every day on the train.
And then I went with the big guy from Houston, Texas, Alex something, the big beard. You've probably seen him before.
Yeah, I know that guy.
I went with him before, and we didn't get anybody. But that's where I saw like the danger of how it could go. Because Walmart parking lot, we pulled up next to the guy. The guy wasn't out of his car yet, and the guy fucking threw 70 miles an hour in a Walmart parking lot, hit a speed bump. I mean, his car like rattled. And I was like,
He hit the fucking dude.
but he got on the highway. He got on the highway, and like they were like, "We're not chasing him onto the highway.
Yeah.
Like that's too dangerous at that point." But I thought the most interesting thing so far about it was that of all the things I've with the pedophile hunters was that because I'm like that guy was he didn't know if we were there to kick his ass.
Yeah.
He didn't know if we were related to the thing. He didn't know if we were cops. He didn't know everything. The instinct that guy had at all, like if that car if the doors and car would have fallen apart around him when he hit that speed bump, he would have just continued running onto the highway. It was just like, I was like, wow, I've never seen somebody really run for their life. Like, that was like a genuine, like, this guy thought his life was over if he doesn't get away from this. He was giving it everything he had. Which is
you're
pretty
gonna get shot by a pedophile.
Right, so I don't do them anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Because
God,
you
it's
could
gonna be so
definitely
You're
get shot
literally
by a
gonna get shot by a
pedophile.
pedophile, which sucks. That's such a shitty
True.
way to die.
Died at the hand of a pedophile?
Shot by a pedophile in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot, just bleeding out in front of a fucking Target.
The
Just,
Dads Against Predators guy's been shot twice now.
What?
And he keeps going, and they're the ones that are aggressive. Like, they
Beating
can't
the
wait.
fuck out of
They can't
guys?
wait to like punch the guy in the face.
I just saw one that was very funny. The guy like walks down the aisle and he's like, "All right, I knew this was coming. Hey," he's like, "I know what you're up to. I know what I'm up to. Let me talk." He tried to be.
There's some
He was
great ones.
He was slow. He was mentally.
That's
he
the
couldn't do it.
Law and Order SVU last week just did finally an episode on that, like when you're doing a pedophile sting, and you catch a guy who came there to like watch cartoons and hug because he has like Down syndrome, and it's like prosecuting him the same way.
Yeah,
And that is the thing. It's like most of the pedophile hunts, like that's what you're getting. You're getting a person who would have showed up if you said the kid was boy, girl, 8 years old or 85 years old. They can't believe anyone's responding to him and wants to hang out.
Oh, it's so sad.
So they do. It is a sad thing to see when they catch those people. And they got a big fat guy on one of those podcasts.
I think I saw that.
I think I may have showed it to you. I said the mom sounds like Beezer. The mom's died. The mom of the pedophile. But they just, right in front of the mom, they make him put on like a 7X shirt that says, "I lick ass." Because it's something he said to the girl. This fat guy named Jamie. And he just stands there while the guy reads the things in front of his mother. And the mother's just such a weird old twat. And she, every time he goes, and then it says, I want to suck your little pussy until you come and howl for the moon. And she'll be like, Jamie. What? Well, that's bullshit. He doesn't. You don't even know how to do that.
Oh,
It's so funny.
She
Howling
sounds
for the
like
moon
bees
is
too.
Dude,
crazy.
she said, I don't know why. It's like, she was like, reminds me of like, and it's not, it sounds like him. It's just like, it looks like it would be
Well, that's
Beezer's mom.
bullshit.
Yeah. Jamie. Oh, God. And then they're like, can you not make this a big deal? Because the bitch who runs this apartment complex wants us out already.
That is grounds for dismissal.
Damn it, Jamie.
And she's like, and by the way, the whole thing when they're giving like this crime that they committed, it's so funny when like the mother caretakers are always like, well, then that's it. You're giving me your phone, young man.
Grounded.
Yeah, you're giving me your phone. They're like, it's a little bigger than that. But and then I think I showed you the midget guy before, who they catch 4 times. Where eventually,
midget-phile?
Yes.
eventually,
Midget-phile.
a midget-phile. Eventually, the cops in the 4th video get mad at the guy who's stinging him, and they're like, hey, leave this guy alone. He shows up every time because he can't believe again, and he's so dumb. The first time they showed up at his house. By the way, all of his things are like, I love you. He's already saying, I love you. He's like a retarded midget guy. And he's saying, I love you a bunch to this like fake girl. And then they ask him, he goes, the fake girl's like, what are we doing today? He goes, just playing basketball. And like he writes, and like, she goes, oh yeah, are you really tall? He's like, he's like 4'11". I could dunk though. And she's like, she goes, really? He's like, yeah, it's pretty easy for you.
The tall guy holds me up.
Yeah, he's
on my waist.
He's just a retarded guy. And every time the cops show up, he's like, no! And just like starts running around all crazy. Yeah. And he runs around all crazy. And then the neighbor will always come over and be like, just, can you leave? Like, I kind of look after him a little bit like, guys, this is not a real problem you're having. And the guy's
a special needs
and
little person
and the
over
guy-
and over again.
And the guy was so retarded.
A helicopter following
over and over again.
They show when he leaves.
I'm sorry. He runs around like the little guys in Halo.
He does.
It's like,
He does.
oh god.
He never quite gets it.
Yeah.
As soon as they leave the first time, the same night, they just, to see if they can, they just message him back and they go, sorry about that. That was my uncle. He gets really pissed off. And he was like, that was weird. And then she was like, yeah, but it's okay. He's going back to, I think she said he's going back to England tomorrow. And he's clearly just an American guy. He goes, it's okay. He's going back to England tomorrow. He goes, okay, well, I mean, I still love you. Like, am I going to get to see you? And then they just do it again. The 4th time they catch him at a car dealership. And he's getting out of his car and he goes, are you, and they go, hey, Jason. And he still doesn't recognize him. Still, he's retarded. He goes, oh, hey. And he goes, what are you here for? He goes, to get a car. He goes, would you like to get a 13-year-old car? And he goes, what? He goes, are you here for a 13-year-old? He goes, no. And he starts like running for his life and then the thing. He's like, get out of here. Get out of here.
I mean,
And that's the one where the cops show up and they go, yo,
Yeah.
stop. Like, block his number. What are you doing? Like, leave this guy alone. He's never gotten any pussy, kid or otherwise.
yeah, it's entrapment. Leave the man alone.
That's really fucked
They
up.
should have a clause, like they should amend the law and like if you are, you know,
They should.
an R-rated midge, they should just go. That's up to the parents' discretion.
I mean, it's really.
That'd be a good high school sweetheart.
You should be allowed to.
It's my prom date.
No, just
Get him out of here. Just bust him at prom 10 times.
Dude,
Taking the prom picture, and we got him. No. No, we're just fucking with you. Get out there and dance again.
they can make a remake. Remember Carrie?
Yeah, yeah, when he locks
You
the
can make a
doors.
remake. It's the new Carrie. Gets his revenge.
Yeah, he goes, luckily that midget has telekinesis. Yeah, they're all, I mean, there was the famous one, there's the Chris Hansen, was the guy started eating pizza.
Yeah, we just watched that
we
one.
saw that.
It's one of the best ones ever. He goes, you want a slice? No, it's cool.
He's scarfing
He doesn't even
that.
care.
yeah.
He's changed his name and moved. That's what he did.
That must have been the craziest acid reflux. Just getting caught as a pedophile and crushing
yeah.
half his eye.
And it was the grease cup pepperoni too.
He was folding them too. He was folding
no,
slices.
I've never seen someone grow up that hard. Like,
But
I
just
mean, he
like-
grew up like it was while getting in trouble. He hit a fucking hard grub sesh.
It's because he thought it was going to make him look more natural.
He did. He
Like,
did.
it really did. He goes, He goes, I guess I'm a pervert.
Yeah. And they're like, did you
And
say this? And
He
he's
goes,
like, when he's showing, he's like, you got the text? He's like, oh shit, you have the transcripts. Oh,
There's
fuck.
also those great compilations of Chris Hansen doing like I may have told you this before, like I like his first line when he tries to play off what they say is always the best. The guy's like, it's like, where you at? And then the girl will be like, I'm upstairs. I'll be down in a second. He's like, I can't wait to kiss you. And they're like, would you like to kiss me, Frank?
Right, he comes out of that clear. There's a cloth in the hallway that he opens. You go, oh, there's, that's normal.
Yeah. Would you like that? He goes, don't mind that. That's Video Village back there.
We've talked about it before, but when they get Indian guys, it's the best. Just a foreigner that's just like, what's the problem?
They should be like my parents
no
arranged
problem.
this. I would die. My parents set this up. That wasn't me.
Yeah,
An
is
Indian
an
guy is the
arranged
it's been
one.
arranged. You're,
An Indian guy is the one who got naked right away when he came in.
Yeah.
Like fully naked and just started walking around. That was an Indian guy. And then the other one was the kid who got caught twice in like the back-to-back days. And the second time they pull up on him, they go, what are you doing, man? And he goes, oops.
getting caught back-to-back days. Like,
Back to
go
back
home,
there,
you go,
yeah.
all right, back to the drawing board. There's no way
All
I
right,
get
now
caught.
we know what to look for. So it's funny, and I know they're trying to get more of like a police involved thing. Like Catch a Predator was like an official with police they're working with, and there's I guess another one called Underage Undercover on it's like Discovery or something. But Max had it. They did 2 seasons of it, and what's funny about that is going on the ones that I've gone on, how fast they'd be like, all right, well, it's 3:15. He said he was coming at 3. This guy's flaking. He's not answering anymore. And, with that Sting House, we're like, all right, well, it was nice to meet you guys. We're going to take off. And they go, no, hang on. I'm not kidding. Go on. Hey, my parents are gone. Could you come over?
God.
Can you be here in 15 minutes? I'll be right over. I mean, to catch a person willing to fuck a 13, 14-year-old, that's wild. So they will, though. Like, there's no, like, loss of, like, getting them at all. But again, I don't know how much... outside of like court of public opinion and ruining your personal life, doesn't really end up in a lot of like arrests and stuff. But it's like to get the arrest, what they have to do. That's why I found it so funny that they can just go, "Hey, I'm 14 and I have a vagina. Who wants to fuck?" And like people will start coming. The Underage Undercover, they overdo it, so it's like a whole house they've rented, and each room's like decorated to a different girl character, and they have the things with fake braces. So like. You see them like working through each other. Like she's like, okay, so I'm supposed to watch him masturbate at like 4:00 today. So like, so they'll go, put on like the pigtails and little girl things and sit Indian style, and then holding like another girl's hand off camera, who's like going like, I'm sorry, you're doing so good, and she's like, It's great. And you just hear the guy like, oh,
Oh, wait, they go for it?
and it's
They
like,
let the pedophiles do it?
it's almost my point is that, like, I don't think you have to get this much
They did it?
information. Yes. They go, okay, by the way, after like 4 masturbation sessions and talking on the phone every day to him and going through all this thing, they'll be like, okay, we think we know what state he lives in. Like they're trying to like, it's like each season's like to get like one little piece of information about a guy. It's like, how come every other person can just go,
Yeah,
hey,
what are you
look in
doing?
the fuck, I'm 12. And someone
Yeah.
goes, I fuck a 12-year-old. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll come
great,
over.
You're going to jail.
It's like nonstop things. Like it's too
You gotta let him
involved.
finish. It's like the South Park episode where he's like, I'm going undercover as a prostitute.
Wow, Daddy, that sure was a lot of cum. Freeze.
Freeze.
It's the best.
Damn, so they're recording them jerk and just sit through it and be like, damn.
Right,
all
and like the girl
Yeah,
off
yeah,
camera,
he got
the girl
away
off
again,
camera's like
that
holding her hand, going
motherfucker.
like, "You're being so strong right now. You're being." And then it's like, by the way, also whenever a guy starts jerking off, you're pretending you're a kid. You could be like, "So my parents are calling. I'm so sorry. I have to go." They just go, like, they let him finish, and they're like, "I like it." Like, there's no reason to get
If a
this
guy
deep
keeps going
undercover for what they're doing. It's like, you
if
got
I'm-
him.
if I'm the
He's texting
pedophile-
sexual.
If I'm the pedophile, I'm going back to that house. And by the 4th time, it's like, no, I knew she was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a show. This has been great. I've been
is
jacking
my
off.
king.
Oh,
Yeah,
it'd be
it's
so great if you catch one of the people you know is that show underage
Yeah.
undercover. He goes, I thought we were just doing a little role play.
Yeah, I was
Just
fucking
clear
around.
20.
Obviously, she's 20.
Yeah, here's her IMDb.
She's on
kiss-
season 2.
kiss
I was a
Chris
big fan. Yeah.
Just give Chris Hansen a big kiss. Be like, this is all for you.
Yeah, I came here to meet you.
I was trying to
dude.
work my way up.
That's a good move. You keep going to kids' houses and be like, "Where's Chris Hansen?" I'm
Where's
just trying
Chris?
to meet Chris Hansen.
That's what you do. You
Those
walk in
guys-
and be like, all right, I know I was fucking around. Where's Chris? Is he here?
Yeah.
That way he comes out and be like, oh, I knew you were here.
Yeah, we're giving you
The
guys
guys
some.
that came-
Any pedophiles out there? We're giving you some nice hacks.
We should do $1 million worth of game for pedophiles.
Guys in the 90s came.
This is allegedly Spotify. Allegedly.
Every in the 90s, though, people would find like their thing and then just kind of stick with that. Like Maury Povich's show used to be like, you were my school bully, look at me now, and this and that.
Now
and
I'm a girl.
And it was like,
I'm a
yeah.
hot lady.
Yeah, really.
Look at me now. What do you think?
By the way, that was the best when
You're
those
still
bullies.
fucking gay.
Yeah, when those bullies, dude, when those bullies would go, especially with a girl, it's like she was a fat girl in school. It goes, now she's like a bikini model. It's like, look what I've got. Remember how mean you were to me? And it's like, seems to have affected you, and you really made some positive life changes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, like this really. What the
Now,
thing should
can
be.
we get this over with
But then
and kiss?
You still want to
I'd
fuck
like
me?
to take
Clearly,
you out on
you
a
had
date.
me flown here.
True.
But Maury Povich figured out like the paternity test for the whole thing. Jerry Springer realized cheating and fights for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Chris Hansen was just like Dateline NBC. Like, here's a story about a small town murder or corruption in politics, and then it was like, nope, he's the pedophile guy.
He's the guy.
And now he gets to curse. He loves it. The ones online, the true
Yeah.
blue ones, he loves it because he gets to read. Now he gets to really read the. Well, you say here you wanted to suck her ass. It's a. Yeah, he goes. Yeah, but I mean, sucking ass. That means like like
Yeah.
complimenting.
I think it was a later season. He hit one guy who was like, BBCP, that's a bareback cream pie. And I was like, damn, Chris. Damn, dude.
The smoothest one he ever did was the guy who was washing his hands for the girl. Like the little wigger dude was like washing his hands, and then Chris Hansen just walks up next to him and starts ripping off slices of paper towels to hand him. And the guy, he's washing his hands, and he looks over, and then he takes the paper towel. He's like, "Thank you," and he just tries to act like it's not a weird thing. He goes, "Oh, thanks." He really makes it look. He goes, "You here for the young pussy too?" Oh, I didn't realize this was a party. That's happened a couple times on Catch a Predator when the people come out and they go, "Oh, I thought it was just me and her." Like she's in the two
Oh my
dudes.
god.
Oh, I call pussy, dude.
Oh my.
Catching two and making them fight for the survival will be sweet.
Yes.
Winner leaves, loser goes to jail.
These are
things
more
people
good
want.
ideas.
Then you
think
still
people-
catch the guy. Like, we're just kidding. We want to see you guys
Yeah.
fight. You're both going to jail.
Jay, when's your special coming out?
Special is coming out February 20th, so Thursday. When does this
Hell
come out?
yeah.
Is it out already?
This
or
should
is
be
it-
out tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Should be out
Yeah,
on
so
Tuesday.
Actually, we could wait a week if you want.
it's up to you guys. Whatever
Yeah.
your guys' schedule is.
Whatever
This will be
idea.
out. Yeah.
Double Crowd Work album, Them They, first half Them coming out February 20th, and then a month later,
Hell yeah.
I think we're premiering the second part at
Where-
a Moon Tower.
Where'd you film it?
Denver Comedy Works.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck yeah.
That's
This is
sick.
great.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Any room where it's going forward. Yeah, I hope so, man. It's like I don't watch anything or edit anything, so
That's one way to do it.
yeah. I turn it over to other people,
Yeah.
and I go, "Hey, you guys." Well, I always figure too. I'm like, "Well, you guys will know what you're laughing at."
Yeah.
It's like me. I'm gonna go. All I'm gonna look at. I go, "Yeah, that was pretty funny," but like, why am I built like that? Like, those are the questions I always
I
ask.
know. I'm selfishly like, let's just get rid of that entire camera, that angle, because I look
I've
like
asked that
I look
before.
like a blimp. Let's just do head on from above the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
special.
Yeah, can we get a single camera shot
Yeah.
and never the side? They were one of them on my first ever the hour special live at Webster Hall. I didn't put any input into that, and I mean they had a camera that seems like the job of the camera was to shoot me low from diagonal behind and swing around to the front of me.
Yeah, just get
to
the
really
whole-
give you my entire
Yeah.
way too long across profile.
Perfect.
It's like, oh, you know what? Side shoulder to shoulder, this guy doesn't look that bad. And then you start turning around and he goes, oh my God. Oh, there's too much happening in the front.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
That's a crazy
I
angle.
chose to sit like a dummy. And I never think every time I go, and remember when you sit, especially on like a taping, like back straight, like sit on
Yeah.
the stool, but like have like your back straight. And then it's like how many seconds later before you're just like, so is this your girlfriend?
Yeah, I think about it the whole time I'm on stage because I slouch like crazy,
Yeah.
and I'm just
And then if they watch you make the shoulders back move, they're like someone's been talking to them.
yeah.
He has to your piece.
I do it the whole show because it's now I'm doing the round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like half the whole audience is seeing my hunched over back and the weird thing I do with my hand behind my back, which I never thought anyone was going to see. The whole time I'm going like this behind, like it's really fucked up. It sounds like I'm being conversational, but you can tell I'm obviously like internally like, fuck, oh, fuck.
Give your turkey tail.
Yeah, I just go like that behind me. I had somebody DM me like, "What were you doing hand signals?" I wanted to know what the hand signals meant. I was like, "No, it's just."
Dude,
just
I've done a
autism there.
couple of these arenas with you now, and so they've all been great. And I sit on a stool, which maybe I have to consider not doing. It's it's just more. I like it. It's been good.
I think it's fine.
and it's worked well at the time. It's worked well all of them, but the last one we did was Seattle. I think I was
Yeah.
with you. That was the only time I was like, I just chose a side and went with it, and then. Towards the end, like the last like 5 or 6 minutes of it, every time there was like a down moment, like in my own speaking, you go, guys, you know what's crazier? Turn around, like a guy. But I mean, it was just like, and then there's that thing
Get a
where you're like,
swivel chair.
but then you're like, I'm not doing it for him. You just want to do it for the one
Yeah.
guy. Turn around.
Yeah, you lose all control if you're like, yes, sir, and spun around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get
right.
a,
If you do
get
it,
a
you're like-
swivel bar stool.
They're all aware. I can hear each individual comment.
yeah.
Change your pants. Your whole thing sucks.
This sucks. Fuck you.
It sucks.
In those arenas, you can hear every single person.
Also-
There's so many people, so someone's gonna be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, turning around to be like, what did you say? Sitting back down,
Yeah.
that would hurt.
I was talking to the guys.
Yeah, for a second. You go, what's that? Okay, I thought so.
You're just dad in the back of the car, just like, knock it off.
Excuse me?
Shut up back
Okay,
there.
okay.
I was last night. I was talking to Are You Garbage guys about it, and that was like, they were talking about a thing they don't like doing, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I thought I was like, I'm done with Trump. I'm gonna stop doing Trump. First show I did, 1 minute in, a guy was like, do Trump right now. I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing Trump for the rest of my fucking career. Yeah, they yell out. You can hear them.
Are you sick of doing it?
Trump? No, I love doing it.
Yeah, the material
It's fun.
keeps coming.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, this will be out hopefully by the time SNL gets announced. So I'm gonna host SNL, and in my head, it's like I don't know what to say for my monologue. Like I'm already like, oh shit, because they tell you you're hosting pretty.
Quick.
You have like 2 weeks to
Really?
be like, oh fuck, what am I gonna say? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, Trump will say something. He'll say something
Yeah.
that week.
He's going to work on it.
I'll just fucking make fun of that. He's gonna do something next week.
Do you have to walk a line at all, like not making fun of him too much?
Yeah, because I don't like doing that. I think that sucks.
Well, it's just also obvious.
I think when
done.
comedians go out there and just every single comedian on earth is like, fuck Trump.
Orange man.
But not even like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, do you think he sees like?
No,
like
he
would
doesn't
see
know
it
who I
as,
am.
No, no, but I'm saying like, does he see it as like an homage? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all how people take it. Some
Yeah.
people say like you're making fun of him just by doing the impression. Other people are like you're doing
Yeah.
a great impression of him. So it's such a funny thing.
Like, what do you think he thinks? That's a good
yeah,
question.
like I wonder if he saw it, if his initial reaction would be like,
I guarantee he would not like it.
he wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Well,
He might get amused like a Roman senator would.
yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen him react to anyone doing an impression of him.
That's true.
I
We
don't
just
think
saw-
anyone responds really well to that.
We saw
If
him
somebody
with-
does any impression
Well,
Yeah, it's not your favorite thing.
of
I
you,
didn't know that.
You're like
the first time when we had Everlast on Bonfire a couple years back.
Oh yeah.
Bert Kreischer was in the studio with us. It was me and Dan still on the show, and I was like, "Oh, it'll be really funny." I go, "When Everlast gets here, let's go around the room and everybody do your impression of what's the girl's name?" It was like, "Somebody got pregnant from a guy named Tom."
Yeah.
And then when Bert came in, he was like, "Oh, dude, I wouldn't do that." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Just musicians take themselves really seriously. Like he won't think it's funny. He's going to be weird about it." And he was almost giving me, Bert was giving me like a read the room thing. He's like, so like, just, I wouldn't do it. And it got me in my own head where I was like, yeah, I'm not, I won't even bring it up. And then when Everlast came in after talking to him for a little bit, he was very cool. And I was like, hey, we have a guitar, man, here if you want to play a song or anything. And Bert goes, oh, if you play a song, I swear to God, I'll get butt naked right now. And I was like, yeah, brilliant. I'm like, Bert, you told me to read the room on that. He doesn't want to hear an impression of himself, but you think one of the top Mount Rushmore of wiggers wants his payment for doing something he already doesn't want to do to be a man gets naked in the room? You read the room, Bert. He's like, oh, I'll get naked if you do. Hey, dude, great news! I'll get naked if you do something.
Oh,
You're probably really cool.
so?
You're probably cool with the nudity of men, right?
That's so funny.
Hey, you grew up in a culture that's pretty like fucking awesome with gay shit.
That's such a funny move.
I'll get totally naked. But the fact that he had the sense, it's the outward. Like he knew, he's like, yeah, that would not be a good thing. Like he needs somebody to go, Bert, I don't think Everlast wants to see you naked as a reward, punishment, or otherwise. Just the idea of that, like it's like a girl saying, "I'll show your tit."
And I know exactly how Bert said it too, like that, like
yeah. Like, hey, here's a deal.
Yeah.
If you do the thing we're asking, I will do something that no one's asked for. I love that
Naked
though.
for Everlast is so funny.
For Everlast, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
was the
what
best?
happened? Did he get naked?
No, and Everlast didn't play a song. I mean, I didn't even pursue the question
So
of
the
asking him to
deal's
play a
off.
song more because when Bert made that offer, I was like, now I don't have to go, hey, we'd still like you to play a song. Like, well, I promise that won't happen. It was more like, well, Everlast, thanks for hanging out and being here.
Oh man.
So funny.
I gotta show you that episode of Tires.
What?
Your episode.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
should have it. We can
Oh,
watch
nice.
it here in a second.
Hell yeah.
You want to wrap it up?
Let's do it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks
Let's
for
watch
having me,
that
man.
episode. Yeah, hell yeah.
The Wild Wild West.
Glenn Lowry, dude, it's honestly, I talk about you a lot on my podcast. I watch your stuff. I kind of parrot your talking points. I listen to you talk and I'm like, you know what I'm thinking about this whole thing. So it's an honor to have you. I think honestly, you're one of the best thinkers currently.
Wow,
no lie.
man.
No lie. No lie.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you so much, man. So I have a million questions. You know, you just wrote the book, Late Confessions. It's your memoir.
Late admissions.
Late admissions. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Edit it. Late admissions.
And then the subtitle is Confessions of
Confessions
a
of
Black
a Black
Conservative.
Conservative. Excuse me. I read the book, dude. It was. I knew it was going to be good. Because I've been watching you for a while. So I read the book, and it was, you know, like books just kind of like grab you and you can't put them down. It was. I'm not buttering you up. I swear to God. I read it and it was pretty great.
That's great to hear.
Because I remember you were kind of like hesitant. You're like, you know, like, well, should I write an autobiography? I don't know if you're just kind of like messing around with your co-host John McWhorter. But did you really have like a kind of hang up, like, do I really deserve to write an autobiography, or did you know, like, I'm letting this rip?
I don't know if I'd put it that way, but it was a long time coming. I've been thinking about it a long time before I actually got it done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But once I got going with it, once I got into the thing, it kind of took over.
So what was that like? Like, did you have an outline for like this part of my life, or did like the memories just spontaneously arise as you started kind of from the beginning?
I went through different, phases. First, it was going to be Changing My Mind. That was my title, had a working title. And I thought it was about being on the left, being on the right, a black guy, conservative, Reagan affiliations and things like that. But then kind of going left and, my back and forth, the pendulum swing of my politics, changing my mind. It was going to be about, the friends you lose and, the things that you have to do and, things like that. But that was the cover story. That wasn't the real story.
Yeah, I remember that theme from there.
Then it was going to be the enemy within. I went through a phase when it was all about, fighting my drug addiction and, dealing with my sexual addiction and things like that. And confession and, getting religion and losing, it's going to be about the devil, about the guy sitting on your shoulder on one side, on the other side. The enemy within. And then I realized that the real issue for me was figuring out how to tell myself the truth about my life. That was being honest. It was coming to terms with it, and I finally was able to get something going. Yeah, I had an outline. I had a dozen outlines.
Yeah. You just didn't know how deep you're going to go into.
I knew I wanted to do the Chicago thing. I knew I wanted to do the MIT thing. I knew I wanted to do the Harvard thing. I knew I wanted to do the drug thing. I knew I wanted to do the church thing.
Yeah.
So I had these, but it didn't have the life that it needed. It didn't have the I want to say something like thematic integrity. It didn't have the vision. It wasn't quite right.
What do you think the theme was? So, because I have an idea of what the theme was for me. What do you think the theme was, at least from my experience of it? What do you think the theme was for you when you're writing it, or like that you took away from it afterwards?
Well, I hint at that in the preface when I say it's the problem of self-regard. And I say I'm playing a game with the reader. The reader has to figure out whether or not what I'm saying about myself is true. And I call myself being clever. I say, I'm going to tell you the worst things about myself. And in doing so, I'm going to gain your trust.
Yeah, I remember I was kind of tickled when I read that. I'm like, God damn it, he's so smart, dude. It's such a good way to start the book. But that was true, though. It was, you really did disclose, a lot. And it wasn't like, I read it and I was like, first of all, and I got to say, and this is, I just didn't know how much of the book was going to be about you getting pussy. That was crazy. You got a lot
about
of pussy.
What?
You got a lot of pussy. A lot of the book was about getting pussy and growing weed. I had to turn it over and check. I was like, is this my life story? And I was like, no. I was like, this is you, Glenn.
Well, I wasn't bragging. I wasn't trying to prove anything.
No,
No, I was just telling you what
you
happened.
don't need to, bro. You don't need to, man. That was the smoking jacket, dude. I would try to explain that to people. And like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, it's the funniest thing. Was your Uncle Adler smoking jacket?
You should have known my Uncle Adler, man. Yeah, that was my Uncle Adler smoking jacket, and he gave it to me. I mean, he came to my bachelor pad on the near north side of Chicago, Lincoln Park. And, it was all set up for seduction.
Yeah.
And, I've got the music playing and I got the incense burning and the weed and whatnot. And, the fireplace and the exposed brick, the track lighting, the 4-poster bed. I'm ready.
Bro.
And he says, oh, man, this is too much. You will make better use of this than me. Because he was this Duke Ellington-esque.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in the early 20s, so, he would have been like 30 years old in 1952, 53. He was in
his prime. He was in his prime, and he transferred you the smoking jacket.
Well, by the time this happened, which was the late 70s, he was past his prime, and he was in decline. He drank himself to death.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
he had a lot of different issues, but he was a ladies' man par excellence, and
Wait, so how old was he when he gave you the
that.
jacket? How old was he when he gave you the jacket?
Okay, he would have been 55.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
60.
saying he was 30. I got you. So he was like really happy.
No, he was still making good use of it when he was ready.
So what was the protocol for the jacket? Would it be on like in the house? Would you toss it on afterwards? Like how exactly did it work?
The coolest thing was coming out of the shower, drying off, and just putting the jacket on.
God And then I don't know if you fully, I mean, maybe you recognize this, but just like the poetic nature of how it met its demise, just a scorned young lover cutting it to pieces. Like there was no other way that jacket was going to lose form other than that by the hands of a scorned young lady.
It was like some kind of Greek tragedy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I read that. I was like, this is beautiful.
Like I say, it was like entrails strewn on the floor. Like, you know, the soothsayer is supposed to come in and tell you what your future is going to be when you see this shit.
But I that's what I really liked because, like, you know, you really can, like you were saying, like, oh, I'll just hit a couple key themes from the south side of Chicago, blah, blah, blah. But you were like really went in the autobiography, and it was like, you were really laid, like, you know, just stuff out there that I think a lot of people would kind of be like, nah, I'm going to polish my image, where you're like, well, I want to be authentic, but then I don't want to totally, you know, lose it. Because everyone has stuff they've done that they're obviously not proud of.
To the point where people might be saying, you're telling me too much. They might be saying, why are you telling me all of this? They might be trying to say, oh, it was that bad. You think you can get a pass by telling me how bad it was? You know?
Yeah, but that's kind of, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I totally agree with what you're saying, but I'm like, if you've lived a full life, you know, like you've made mistakes yourself, and to be able to like make them, learn from them, grow from them. I don't know. I just like when people are like, you think you're going to pass now? It's like, dude, I'm sure you've done stuff too. Like, yeah, my answer would be like, yeah, dude, I wrote it down, and it's like, well, a pass for what? It's just like, this is my life. This is what happened. And it's like,
well, that's where I came out. I came out saying, you know, it is what it is, and I have to tell it fully. And as I say in the book, in a way that I'm exposing myself to myself too. I'm going back over these things, and I'm asking myself, man, how could you have done that? What was it going on in your mind? Like when I smoked crack in my Harvard office.
yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good one,
I take my whole career in my hands. Anybody could have come in with a security key, man.
Yeah, that, and also
that was crazy.
That was a wild move. And also, I will say, bringing you know, the side babe to a work thing. Bro, I read that and I was like, no, Glenn, don't do this. No, dude, that was crazy.
In Israel, I took her to a conference at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Mount Scopus campus.
And people really like, did people actually like take you aside and like, dude, what the hell? Or were they just kind of
They didn't, but they raised their eyebrows. But I was oblivious to the whole thing, man. I was getting ready to go into the Reagan administration as an undersecretary to Bill Bennett in the education department, which was all about family values and everything like that. And it was just crazy.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm, this is the one question that like, because when I read your autobiography and it sent me, I started reading them now like compulsively. I'm reading a bunch of them because then I started like, when I read yours, the big question was like to that point of like when you were like, you know, orbiting the apex of basically worldly power. And then the whole thing, the thinking that I would get from your autobiography would be like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be having extramarital affairs, but I kind of deserve a reward. I'm working hard. I'm getting all this stuff. And if that was the thinking at the time, and it's honestly like you said, you weren't obviously the only one in Washington, D.C. that had, you know, a little sweet thing on the side. So the question would be like, looking back on all that, what do you think a person in like super high stature like deserves, quote unquote, or like, what do you think looking back on that now? Does that question make sense?
Well, yeah. In the book, I talk about master the universe. Like
yes, that's the phrase.
You know, and I got that from Tom Wolfe, the writer. You know, his book Bonfire of the Vanities. You know, his character Sherman McCoy, who was a bond trader. He was like 35-year-old, had a big apartment in Park Avenue or something like that. He was living the life in New York City. He had social X-ray wife and all the museum, benefit things and whatnot. And he's making $1 million a year, and he's a master of the universe. He has a side piece. He gets into trouble. It's a fiasco. You have to read the book. It's very funny.
Yeah.
But I identified with that guy.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm a professor at Harvard. I'm the smartest guy in the room. I wasn't making his kind of money, but I wasn't doing badly. I had real connections. I was on the upscale. I was on the magazine, thing. And
you're getting tapped by literally the Reagan administration.
Yeah. I was going to the White House, and I was, the world was mine. I could do whatever I wanted to do. And the side piece was a part of that. And, did not think there would ever be any reckoning, and felt like I had it coming.
The reckoning, you're saying?
I said, didn't think there would
Oh,
ever
you
be
didn't-
any reckoning. I mean, didn't imagine chickens would come home to roost. Didn't see anything, like Sherman McCoy in the book.
Yeah.
When he ends up in a New York City courtroom and his whole life falls apart and the girlfriend is gone and the bond trading firm doesn't want his services anymore and the newspapers are on his heels and the lawyers are picking him over. I ended up pretty much in the same kind of a position.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my question, because I started reading these autobiographies trying to figure out, like, because there's like, if you look at like value systems, you have like sacrifice self. This is all from like Spiral Dynamics, which I'm not like a master of. I've just read books about it. And there's like express self, which is like, I'm going to get what I want, not even like damn everybody else, but like I'm going to, try to get as much as I want, that's my driving emphasis on life. And then there's like, I should sacrifice my well-being for the good of others. And they're just two prevalent worldviews that, like, you can either subscribe to one. And the question I have is like, to what degree do you sacrifice your own joy and happiness versus do you, pursue your own joys? And like, basically, how do those worldviews play out if you read someone's entire life? So I don't have the answer to that. I don't know if maybe you could shed some light on it. Yeah, it's kind of a tough one to figure out. What would you say looking back on it? Like, because my main question was like, yeah, if you were to have side pieces and get away with it, you'd probably look back on your life pretty fondly and be like, fuck yeah, dude, that was awesome. But it's when it comes and it just kind of like hits your life like a meteorite. I think that's when that's what I'm just trying to figure out, basically.
Well,
Sorry, that's like kind of a heavy
what I told
question.
myself was I was living fully.
Yeah.
I've only got one life. I'm going to live it to the full. I'm going to have experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went through a religious phase, and I abandoned all of my wild pursuits. My wife, who had been with me through thick and thin, and had stuck with me. We started having a family. We had 2 sons. We're in their 30s now, but we're babies at the time. And I found Jesus. I was a deacon in the church. I was, AA. I was going to my meetings. 2 years, 5 years. I was a straight arrow for a while.
Yeah. So my question is, and in the book, it is funny because you talk about kind of the breaking point is like people touching you and you had to do like basically the tongues, and you had at one point you just gave in and you're like, bah!
It's complicated.
What was that like? I mean, was it not?
Well, there was that. There was the secretary of mine who tragically died early in the funeral, and everybody danced around talking about she's with Jesus, and I just wanted to pause for a minute and contemplate the fact that this beautiful young woman was gone from this freak disease and right in the prime of everything good was happening for her. And, Jesus, I mean, I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear about it was okay.
Yeah.
And they were like dancing around this church, and that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
But the thing that you referred to is earlier, it's when I was first coming along in the church and being inducted into the spiritual community and the culture of belief, and it was about baptism in the Holy Spirit, and they were putting hands on me and praying while we were setting up chairs in the gymnasium where the church was having its services before the service, and inviting me into this state of a giftedness with respect to spiritual gifts, speaking in tongues, healing, this kind of So this was a conservative, theologically conservative, Pentecostal oriented kind of congregation, even though it's Black, Methodist, African Methodist, Episcopal, but they had this flavor to it. And, I didn't believe, and I ended up speaking in tongues.
You did.
I ended up, because that's how you show that the baptism of the Holy Spirit has come upon you, that you have a manifestation of it. But it was fake. I was just doing it to have them stop praying, because those people, those Christians were going to keep on praying.
They wouldn't stop.
It was this surreal scene, and they're going on and on and on, and they're getting expressive, and they want to completion of this thing. They want to, and I performed, and afterwards I kind of, there was a kind of cynicism to it, a kind of, what game are we playing? So eventually I moved away from the church, but as I tell in the book, it's a complicated story.
Where do you stand now personally with like spiritual beliefs, and like, where do you,
So if I had to put a name on it, I'd say agnostic. I am not an anti-religious person. I'm not a person who, they believe in God. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I respect people's trying to come to terms with the biggest questions of existence. What's the meaning of life? Who am I? Where do we come from? What's the answer to the ultimate questions? People are seeking, and this is a human tendency that you see in every culture going back throughout recorded time. I mean, people seek meaning in life. But I think it's the hardest problem there is. What's the meaning of life? I don't believe in magic. I'm not going to just sign on to something that doesn't make sense to me. I don't believe in virgin births. I don't believe that a person who died is alive 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years after they died. I don't believe that. That's just asking me too much. But the answer to, it relates to what we were talking about earlier about getting pussy and about side pieces and about, what's the most noble way of living? What's the most rewarding way of living? Is feeding my sensual desires really? Is there anything higher than that? I mean, what about my loyalty to others? What's the anyway, I'm rambling. I'm just saying I think people trying to answer that question and in part through religious practice is a legitimate thing. I'm just not.
So that's exactly kind of my question is like, what do you, and again, it is kind of a tough one to answer, but it's like, what have you walked away from being like, is there anything higher than feeding your sensuous appetites? And like over the course of like, decades, does the sensuous appetite being fulfilled be like worth it? Or is it like, is there something you think higher than that just in like, whatever else there could be, even if it isn't like an organized religion, but like, where do you stand on that now? Does that question make sense?
Repeat the question.
So do you think it is enough to just kind of satisfy like sensuous kind of like appetites of the body? Or do you think there is something higher principles and over the course of time, just as I could see serving higher principles and then getting to the end of it and being like, well, what the fuck, man? I could have been having fun. That was a waste of time. Or do you think that pays off?
I don't know. I just know there are other people. I know that when you make a decision to hurt somebody, that's consequential. I don't think my sensual gratification is the highest thing. I mean, what about my intellectual edification?
True. What is that just to get pussy? No, I hear you saying.
I'm in my 70s now.
Yeah.
Mortality. That's the thing that you confront. I realize I've only got however much I've got, but it's not that much,
Yeah.
And then you're gone. And then what? I mean, and then what? I don't believe in the afterlife either. I think when the brain cells stop firing, whatever consciousness that is embodied in me is gone forever. So what's the point? And, I could say some poetic stuff here, baby smile, things like that, the sunrise and, and it's not bad watching the sunrise over the ocean from the beach and, whatever. And the pussy's not bad either.
True.
A good glass of wine or whiskey.
Right.
Good smoke.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more. There's got to be more than that. And what about my legacy? What about the memory? I mean, I know that whatever I do now etches in stone, whatever it is that people can look back upon. That was, Glenn Lowry.
Yeah, well, and then, so speaking of that was the big, I think this has kind of been in the book, a big theme of your life where it's like, you're in a place, you can kind of identify things that seem almost performative and like not, I guess, like true to experience or whatever. And I feel like you could have, in the book, you say people because of your race would just be like, hey, just kind of take a position. Not, you had your own merits, but you detected there'd be a lot of like, look, kind of quota filling and like, just relax, take a paycheck and like, just be here for representation. And you kind of really bucking against that, being like, no, fuck that. I'm going to be here on my merits. And like, I'm going to go to a different school. Like, where were you at one point where you're like, I'm out of here? Or there, I think, that wasn't the Kennedy Center, was it? Am I mischaracterizing? I don't want to mischaracterize it.
No, you're not. You're not mischaracterizing it. This is about affirmative action and about race and how you come to terms with what people think about and the expectations they might have and whatnot. And I've gone through different phases on it, but I was at Harvard. I was at Harvard in 1982. I came as a professor, the first Black to be tenured in the economics department. I was appointed in Afro-American studies. I was trained at MIT. That's where I did my PhD. I was a techie guy. I was a math, whiz and a theoretical economist and, very academic, very ivory tower. And it was a fork in the road for me about whether to be a pundit, a public intellectual, a guy that you see on TV and writing in magazines and whatnot, or whether to be a scientist. And I didn't know if I was good enough to really break through to the first rank of the scientists. I was in that pack, but I didn't know if I was at the top of the heap in that pack because, those guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
I had my doubts, and I got brought into Harvard so early in my career, and I had this portfolio of responsibilities where I was going to be the Black guy, I was going to be the Black economist, I was going to do the Afro thing, as well as doing the scientific thing on the economics, and I was overwhelmed by it, and the doubt of whether I was good enough, which especially rankled me because I didn't want anybody to think that I was. And also ran that I was being patronized. I didn't want to be that guy, that Black guy that, we know he's not really, but, we got to. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I say in the book, I choked. I thought about that game of pool I lost to my mother's lover in that pool hall way back when I was a kid.
Dude, I read that. Andrew's a big pool guy. He can play really well, but I read that pool. I had
a clean shot on the 8 ball in the side pocket, and I would have run the table on this dude, and he's got his hand on my mom's butt.
Yeah, oh, bro.
And I don't know who he is. And, man, and I missed that shot.
Oh.
I choked, man.
Yeah.
And I felt a little bit like that some days when I was sitting in my office at Harvard and I was trying to find an idea that I thought was going to be a good enough idea. And I'm looking over my shoulder and everybody's looking and is he going to be good enough and whatnot? And I had an out.
Yeah.
And the out was going over to the Kennedy School, taking up the job of a public intellectual and start writing op-ed pieces and, book reviews and magazines and commentary because I was a unusual Black guy. I was conservative in some of my orientations. I had a lot of respect for what the Reagan Revolution was about as far as an economist is concerned. Forgive me. It was a long time ago. I was young and foolish, but there was a road for me to be a pundit and a commentator, a Cornel West, kind of type.
Yeah.
He's respect. I respect Cornel.
He's fantastic.
I respect Cornel.
So,
but the scientific with the green eye shade and just doing the the epsilons and all that, and I made the choice to go the way that I ended up going.
I'm curious though because I obviously had only seen your show before that, so I didn't know. I knew you were economist and all that stuff. I don't know anything. I'm terrible at math, so I was just like whatever, like supply and demand, and I didn't know it was such a technical science, but do you have regrets about, because you seem, my point is you seem so well suited for commentate, you're so good at just talking in general that the fact that you were I don't know if I want to do this, do you feel like that was almost a well-placed nudge by the universe at the time? Or do you feel kind of damn, I wish I stuck, which is just imagining you sitting in a building doing math is just my God. It's kind of nuts.
I think all things considered, it was, like you say, a nudge of the universe, well placed in the right direction. Although I have regrets. I mean, I would have been a much less interesting dude if I had done the scientific thing.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Maybe you could have been Breaking Bad. You might have been making math shit.
There would have been this character inside of the guy trying to get out.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been crazy to keep all of that in, just the hours of talking and all of the stuff you've done, and to keep that in and just sit behind a desk and just doing.
So there's a character I carried through the book. Jonathan Hughes is his name. He was one of my teachers when I was an undergraduate at Northwestern University. He's a historian, economic historian, economist, but a historian, played the saxophone, and always said, don't eat lunch at the economist table and the faculty club. Go to the big table where the historians and the literature people and the scientists and the whatnot, because it's too narrow. It's too narrow. Read widely. Read, outside of your field. And I think that not getting too down in the weeds spirit stuck with me. I mean, so I might have been unhappy.
Yeah.
As a guy trying to, every year the Nobel list comes out, you're looking to see if your name is on it kind of guy.
Yeah.
I might have been, unhappy. I know I would have gotten a lot less pussy.
I feel you. Yeah, I mean, well, and it's funny too because I think obviously it worked out. You're doing, you got your recognition, and it's like I do see the pressure that is kind of like because for me it's like maybe this is like I'm trying to think how to formulate this, but I especially with like the black conservative thing. I feel like there's just like undue pressure where it's like, you're doing conservative values, but then you have, in the back of your head, it's like you have, family, all these other people where it's like could almost excommunicate you being like, dude, you're playing for the wrong side, blah, blah, blah. Did you feel the pressure of like almost like conservatives wanting to be like, yeah, say those things? Cause like, cause it's a shame. Cause it's like, if that's your real orientation, then you're like, how do you balance that? Or do you care?
That's a good question, Matt. No, I definitely care. I definitely felt it. And I think you put it very well. Yeah, on the conservative side, people said, yeah, get on out there, darky. I could say it, but they bite my head off. You go ahead. On the one hand. And then on the other hand, there's like my homeboys and my uncles and whatnot sitting back saying, man, what kind of Uncle Tom thing are you doing? What, tap dancing for the white man? You Reagan? Come on, you got to be kidding me. Reagan?
Yeah,
like that. And where do I stand? I don't want to be anybody's dancing bear. I'm there to say that even black people agree with us about affirmative action. I don't want to be that, guy. On the other hand, I had my doubts about affirmative action. I actually agreed with Reagan about a lot of the economic policy stuff. So I had to be true to myself. I mean, I can't live my uncle's life. I mean, but I had doubts. So that's definitely the case. So I bounced back and forth, I broke with the Reagan people. I tried to come home again and realized then you can't ever really go home again.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, you gotta switch the thing. All right. So I'll take a little break. All right. Sorry about that. We had to change the battery in the camera.
Okay.
So not to lose our place. The thing I was at was the just kind of the black conservative question, and it always has struck me that it's like there's this weird like double pressure on black people in terms of like politics and stuff, because it does get like just the phrase black conservative is like you have to almost qualify it, where it's like you're kind of under it's like pressure to be like, are you performing for white people or whatever, and then like who do you be true? Are you true to yourself? Are you being and it's like seems like a lot of kind of pressure to kind of.
It is a lot.
I
try to point at that in dealing in the book. I mean, authenticity, loyalty, and I resent other people thinking that they look at the color of my skin and they think I know what I'm supposed to say or what I'm supposed to do. I deeply resent that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when I pick up the newspaper and I read about some of the shenanigans that are going on, I mean, I'm talking about in Baltimore, St. Louis, and Philadelphia, and Chicago, New Orleans, and I feel ashamed. Now, why should I feel ashamed about some knucklehead in some ghetto project somewhere that's ripping somebody off in a carjacking and shoot some other train? Why should I feel anything about that just because that person is black and I'm black?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's my people, and I feel like I'd be damned if I apologize for that. On the other hand, how can I expect somebody to see that and not want to move their family away from it.
Yeah.
And is it enough to just call them a racist? And I feel like the people who represent my group, my racial group, who go on TV, and I could name names, but
Sure.
I don't need to, you know, are, you know, it's a song and dance. I mean, they're not dealing with the real thing, and they're not being honest with it. And yet, if I were to say what I really think, then I'd be a traitor. So it's like a maze. It's like wandering in a maze. I mean, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to feel trapped. I want to be true to myself. So I'm dealing with it the best I can.
Yeah. Well, that was like, so I went to school like kind of later, like only a couple of years ago, I think in 2000, I went to school for social work, or no, 2020, excuse me, for social work. And that was like, I mean, it was crazy just being like, there was no, like even suggesting that somebody have something, you could even be like, obviously there was historical traumas endured, and like there's a real thing with that. Then be like, but despite, you still have to have some sort of like, like like responsibility. Like you are at some point still responsible for your life. Just saying like that, they'd be like, no, you can't. How dare you? And it's just kind of like, well, dude, it's not going to help anybody. Like take like a 40-year-old person and be like, yeah, look, none of this is your fault. So I feel like I feel like everything gets simplified where it's like you have, one group of people being like, it's their fault. They need to fucking get their act together. Talking about like black people from the inner city. And then you have people be like, look, it's not their fault at all. And it's like, there has to be it seems pretty easy to like stitch those two things together. But like, yeah, obviously there's been some terrible stuff that's happened that's had an effect, but there's also needs to be some self-accountability. Like, where do you kind of stand on that question? Or do you just like,
I agree with that. I mean, there are a lot of unfairnesses in the world. And there are a lot of people who are in desperate straits and it could do with some help. And I would not want to be a 22-year-old mother with 3 children and making $20,000 a year trying to get by on earned income tax credit and stuff, and food stamps. I mean, I wouldn't want to be that woman, or I wouldn't want to be one of her children.
Yeah.
That's inequality in spades. But that's a separate point from the point that each and every one of us is responsible for how we live our lives and what we do with our time and the extent to which we are responsible to those who are dependent upon us. And you can't let the one cancel out the other. I mean, so, I mean, let me be concrete. Homicide, violence, assault, rape. You just look at the numbers and look at the racial disparity in the numbers. I don't want to hear from a social worker about how it wasn't his fault. Mm-hmm. He had a choice to make. I mean, who are we if we as a society take such despicable behavior? And of course, I get emotional. Now I'm getting emotional about criminal behavior where they're victimizing people. Well, we should get emotional about it because it's despicable. Yeah. Little baby sitting on his grandmother's knee on the front porch and some THUG riding by shooting a pistol at his rival out the window and he kills him. That's despicable. Mm. Black Lives Matter. Exactly. That's despicable.
Yeah.
Like that. I think you should be able to do both things. We should have a decent society without apologizing for criminals.
Yeah.
And when they're black criminals, without apologizing for black criminals.
Yeah. And that was the thing. And then on your show I was watching, you said something to the effect, and I thought it was like also true and good to be like, and people forget too that like people in the inner city, they're Americans. Like they're your fellow country people. Like we should be also helping where we can help and not like using the crime to just be like, that's a totally lost cause and then blah, blah, blah. Because there is like when I was doing the social work, I worked with high schoolers and I would hear their stories, and it's just like if you, like I grew up in the suburbs, and it's like from a suburban perspective to be like, yeah, they just got to figure it out, man. They got to go to school. And it's like, I would hear the firsthand accounts of like what a 14-year-old girl was dealing with. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. It would just be like frying my computer where I'm like, this is, I wish people would take a more kind of nuanced approach and just kind of like you're saying, be able to be like, yeah, you can call out bad behavior and also not try to like use bad behavior to, if you want to take like not to like single out Fox News, but like growing up in the 90s, I'm sure you remember the news was just like on Fox News, it'd just be like, black guys are terrible. And like it almost like when I remember being a little kid watching TV, just like seeing the news and be like, Jesus Christ, that's all it was. Then it flipped to like terrorists. Then it was like, white people are the devil. So yeah, I wish people would take more of like a nuanced approach. And it really makes me think like, have you ever thought about just for the sake of the money, just cashing in and going like full Daily Wire?
And going where?
Full Daily Wire and just being like, yeah, dude, you motherfuckers better knock it off right now. Here's my $2 million, please. Because that's crazy. You watch those right-wing commentators and it's like, it's the same one that's like the super liberal. You know exactly how they're going to fall on the issue every time. And it's like, do you ever think about taking that money and just going totally unilateral one issue and be like, yeah, guys, just let me know. Because those guys get paid lots of money.
You're giving me ideas, man.
Just a couple of years, just cash in for a couple of years and just like, you know what, guys, I take it back. Because isn't that crazy though that you have the internet? That's like nobody's.
I'll tell you what. So,
because you could do it. You could do it very well if you wanted to.
I have the podcast, The Glenn Show, and people watch it, and it's got a Substack thing, and it had a Patreon thing, and they're paying subscribers, and there's advertisers, and there's a little bit of money on the table. There could be a lot more money.
You know what I'm talking about, exactly. That you kind of. My whole point is you kind of pay the price for being honest.
Oh wait a minute, because I got most of these guys beat because I'm a Ivy League tenured professor with an MIT PhD. Wait a minute. You're not going to be able to write that brother off, okay?
No.
And he's out there talking about what the immigrant thugs are doing.
Cats. Have you talked about eating cats yet?
They will pay. They will pay to hear that.
Bro, they will pay you a couple $1 million a year. You can sign up tomorrow.
Yeah, the thought has crossed my mind, but
Yeah. That's my whole point. That's what I admire about you. Again, it's like you could easily fall in at your own, gain throughout years and decades. You could have just fallen in and being like, all right, I kind of see what's going on here. Let me kind of grease my palms and kind of go with the flow. But your whole life seems to be you getting into situations and being like, this is fucking bullshit. And it's a shame because it's like, the markets obviously rewards currently just like demagogic kind of like unilateral thinking of like good guys, bad guys. We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. And that's all we're doing. Like with the debates, it's like we got to pick a non-biased thing where it's like now it's like I won't do a debate on that one and I won't do a debate on this one. I think it's like embarrassing.
Well, the shame of it is I still get accused of being a grifter just for speaking my mind as I did just a minute ago. They say that I'm doing it for the money when if I really wanted the money, they haven't got any idea.
Oh my God, you can make so much more, bro. You can make so much more. And hopefully you don't read. What do you make of the whole internet comment phenomenon? Do you read them or do you kind of like...
Yeah, I read them. I'm not going to say I read every single one of them in every one of the platforms.
Never piss you off?
But, yeah, they piss me off. I mean,
don't read them.
I have an editor and a producer at the podcast who help me put the thing out. And, we meet and talk about all this stuff and the feedback and what the audience capture. You don't want to get audience capture and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I try not to take it personally.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't. I always tell people podcasting, the comments are like coal dust for coal miners, dude. This is an unfortunate reality. You got to breathe some in, but don't whiff it in unnecessarily. Because it'll spin you out. You get one that's like, great. Another one like, this sucks. This guy's the worst guy ever. And then you're stuck between those two things. You're like, I don't know which one's true.
Yeah.
But that is something I do admire. The fact that like your shows, you guys really do like, and there's not a lot of it. You don't see a lot of like high level commentary and thought on issues other than just kind of like, here's a CNN panel with like 4 people blinking in a camera and, they're cutting mics and doing stuff. Same on Fox where it's like, you can say stuff and they kind of like really try to like almost force a point on people rather than letting the point kind of like the cream rise to the top in terms of people talking. And it's like, I think you and John McWhorter do a good job of that. And you guys at least you kind of offset each other. I know you guys don't agree on everything. Have you guys ever gotten in like kind of like a real fight on the show where you had to like...
What's the question again?
You and John McWhorter. Have you guys ever like really butted heads hard or like...
Fighting over something?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I mean, we have a thing going, this kind of shtick.
Yeah.
like Lewis and Martin or something like that, playing off of each other and, my personality, his and whatnot. I go on these rants. He's so kind of snooty. And, John, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
He's great.
But he would say it himself. He would acknowledge it,
Does.
he's kind of weird in that way. But he's smart and he's interesting and we have a conversation going. And Trump, so I'm a Trump apologist and he's got Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the type. Okay. And I'm like, how can you sit there in New York City and sneer down your noses at 75 million people? And, have you ever thought about why he's actually as successful as he is? And, your coastal elite people do not have a natural entitlement to run the world.
Yeah. Oh, so what do you make of that then? The whole Trump versus Kamala Harris situation, and just specifically Kamala Harris's rise from literally like the ashes. It was like a senile guy, visibly a guy with cognitive issues. And
it's one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, what I think about it is there are events which expose the real structures of power for what they are. Mm. So I watched Nancy Pelosi on Bill Maher, and she's out with a book called The Art of Power.
Really?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi has a book. It's called The Art of Power, and Bill Maher had her on his intro segment when he does the interview one-on-one. And I thought, this is real power. You asked me about Kamala Harris and
Well, sorry to cut you off. What is the nature of her book, though? The Art of It's
I
like
haven't read the book.
How is it?
She's, I guess, giving an account of her rise as Speaker of the House and leader of the Democratic Party, and the inside game of how we decide things like who's going to be president of the United States.
What? Why did she do that?
Seems I added that last bit.
I was like,
because I haven't read the book.
I was like, I'm so
it's
gullible,
The Art
dude.
of Power. Trump's signature book is The Art of the Deal, and Nancy Pelosi is The Art of Power. And the image, when I watched her being interviewed by Bill Maher, was her tearing up that copy of the State of the Union address that Trump gave that time.
Yes, I remember
complete contempt.
Yeah.
For this guy that got more votes than anybody else except Joe Biden, et cetera.
Yeah. But she does have a book named The Art of Power. That's true.
She doesn't what about?
She does have a book named The Art of Power.
That's true. That's true.
You were just pulling my leg on the. I thought she really did a tell all about like pulling candidates and all this stuff.
What I was trying to say in response to your question about Kamala Harris was she was a failed vice president until yesterday, and now she's become the hope for the future. I resent having that foisted on me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not a fool. I'm not asleep out here. I see you people making your moves. I see you billionaire hedge fund people making your moves. Mm-hmm. I see you Democratic Party leadership making your moves on me and trying to tell me a story about what's going on. And first Black woman, first Asian woman.
Yeah.
Please give me a break.
My sense, it is kind of grotesque to even, especially to use like, legacy of racial struggles and all that stuff, and like have that as like almost a hologram hovering over a giant bureaucratic machine trying to launch like multiple.
I like
wars.
that image.
You know what I mean? Doesn't that feel kind of like, I don't know, it gives me the creeps where I'm kind of like, don't, of all things, like, Jesus, man. You're supposed to like,
the hologram image, I love this. This is what is put out by the real structures of power to mollify and put you people to sleep, to lull you into a complacency and an acceptance, to give a phony legitimacy. I mean, the future.
Yeah.
Hope.
Oh, yeah. More wars.
Joy.
Yeah. The joy made me laugh, dude. That was when you did the rendition of Oprah's performance of Joy. That actually made me chuckle.
Do they think we are idiots? What do they think? They lead us with a ring through our nose. They say bark and we bark.
How does it work? I mean, that's a question too. Is it even working? Is it all just a media fabrication, or like, because I live in a pretty liberal area in Austin, Texas, and I don't see a ton of the Harris signs. I see them. They're like starting to pop out a little more and more, but it's not like, usually you would think they'd be everywhere. Like Obama, I remember when Obama was running, those signs were everywhere. The Harris, forgive me, I forget the Mr. Vice President's name, but that Waltz, I believe. I don't see those as much. And I'm in like the thick of like kind of like a liberal area, and I'm kind of
They're starting to spring up on the east side of Providence in the Tony neighborhood that I live in, but not nearly as thick as the Obama signs.
That's what I'm
were.
saying. It's like, supposed to be like the Great Hope, and I'm kind of seeing that being like, wow, I don't know if they even believe it. Like,
It's a short campaign.
yeah, true. It was kind of, it's over, and the next month it's going to be over. Yeah, that is true. It's like, here's the thing too. Is it's easy to like point the finger, but I do think they are kind of like almost a manifestation of just like collective apathy. Like people are like Trump and Kamala. It's like, well, nobody else seems to really care, or like they're just trying to go and press a button. Like, yeah, these people will take care of it. Now we've had just like these weird kind of figures emerge, and it's like, how do we not have anybody better in this whole country to do the
That's
most
what my wife keeps asking me.
important job?
This is what we're left to choose among.
It almost proves it's like somehow being curated in like a very weird way, where it's like, like if you're just someone with like good intentions and a lot of good ideas, like clearly can't make it to the national spotlight. Maybe now with the internet, I don't know.
No, it is what it is.
True. That's true. That's true. I guess I'm naive to think that, we'd just be like, get up there, man. You can do it. But either way, you have, so again, Glenn show. I think people should all watch that. Is there anything else you have burning on your mind you'd like to talk about?
Comedy. So I did this event at the Comedy Cellar in Nome Dorman, and Shane was one of the people who came up there.
Spoke highly of you too, by the way. He's like, I met Glenn Lowry. I was like, what?
So my thesis was, I said to Nome, I think there are things, I'm a political commentator, but I think there are things that really only comedians can say. Like Dave Chappelle talking about the trans stuff or whatever.
Sure,
I
yeah.
mean, he almost got cashiered for that, but
Kind of. Then you just end up making more and more money because it just kind of drives more attention.
Do you agree? Do you agree that there are things that only a comedian can say? And do you feel as a comedian any responsibility to say them?
I think they're, unfortunately, yeah, for some, like if you're in an office, I can't, like I actually was in an office when I was doing social work. I had been a comedian before. I kind of started having doubts. Like, I had this job. I just want to like do something and actually work with people. Then I did land me in an office and people would be like, yo, man, like, you can't talk like that. So there is definitely like, yeah, obviously I think, or construction workers also can say whatever they want, but there's not a big difference. But I don't know. When I get like, I think that yes, comedians, not to get too highfalutin about, what I've been up to, but it's like a lot of comedians kind of cash in and just kind of put the blinders on. They're like, look, I don't want to get controversial. I want to kind of sell my tickets. But I think they have a function where they should be kind of like, ridiculing. Because I was reading something recently and they're saying, ridicule's usually the tool of the masses. And when people in power try to employ ridicule, it never has the same effect because it kind of comes off as like, kind of contrived and phony. So I think as a comedian, you should be like kind of lampooning anything you see as just kind of like disingenuous or just kind of like fake. Like you were saying, you can watch the Kamala thing and, I'm sure people can make fun of Trump too if they want. And it's like, whatever they have, ad nauseum, but it's like, you see something about it and you're like, this is kind of weird. But if you're in an office environment and you're like, I don't know about this. Now it's like you could upset your boss. It's just, you can't. I do think working in an office for too long gives you like low grade brain damage, which is not a popular opinion, but I think it does. Just from having to kind of like, just like you were saying, behind a science desk, just keep so much of you inside of yourself. I think it does something. I think you have like these mini hemorrhages in your brain. So, sorry. To answer your question, yeah, I think they do. I think you should try to be funny because there's people out there, they're working, they're at a job they hate all the time. So like, it's like you got to strike a balance between being like, I'm burning with a message for the world, because then people can be like, bro, come on, man. I'm trying to just laugh. I just want to laugh and have fun and drink a couple beers. Right. But I think there is, you should try to have some sort of substance to it, if they are kind of inclined. But you can also go out there and just do dick jokes. And if people laugh the whole time, it's like, I would never like sneer and be like, it's just like perfect. Mission accomplished. Make people laugh, spread joy,
Okay, so I have another question. You're a performer. I'm a performer.
Mm-hmm.
When I go and give a lecture in class, I'm a performer.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for a long time. My first college teaching experience was in 1975. So when I retire next year, it'll be 50 years.
Damn.
College teaching. I am always, always nervous before I step in front of a class. Always, even to this very day. I have notes, but I'm not sure I'm going to have enough to say or that I'm going to, be interesting and good and whatnot. I feel like to this day. I don't know how a stand-up person does that thing.
Yeah.
There are no notes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's rehearsal. I'm sure there's drafting and sketching, and there's thought that goes into it. But it's in the moment. It's the performance. There's the audience, and there's no net. There's no safety net. There's no fallback. I mean, if you go flat, if you, as it were, lose your place, you're fucking done.
Yeah, they call it losing your spine. If you lose your spine on stage, you're done. Well, I will say, and this is what I tell people, it's like, yes, it's the same thing. I'm always kind of nervous. Even the first 5 minutes takes me, I'm like a little squirrely. I don't know if people can even notice, but I'm like kind of like, because I'm like, I'm going to forget. I start like kind of have a thing where I'm like, what am I doing? But the thing that comedians get is when a whole room laughs, it puts you in like the deepest sense of like, it's like it's a hard feeling to describe, but it's a very nice feeling. And you're just kind of like little Pac-Man pellets. You're like trying to get the next laugh. And once you've gotten so many, you just kind of relax. And like when I talk without laughter, I tried to give a reading at my brother's wedding a couple years ago. And I was like, my mom was like, you do it. I'm like, I'm a pro, man. I'm a professional speaker. I was going to pass out. I was at the podium. Like there was 40 people. And I was like, I'm going to, for real, I thought I was going to faint. So I'm not a public speaker by nature, but comedy, when I get laughs, it puts me at ease. And I'm like, all right, I can do that, but I can't do any other form of public speaking.
That's so interesting.
Like teaching a class, because you're not getting that. It's like a visceral feedback. So you're like, yes, I got them. When you're just like spreading an idea, I would go nuts being like, does this make any sense? And then you have all these, just people, and the people are bored in class too. That would just kill me to see someone like kind of like, so.
Yeah, I got it. I hadn't thought about that laughter thing. That's a unique thing to the comedic experience.
Did you ever make your class laugh? I'm sure you made your class laugh.
Oh yeah, but I'm not there to make them laugh. I mean, I'll tell a joke along the way. It'll come to me, or it'll be an old one that I've used before. And
you got canned crowd work, yeah.
And then they're also, they can raise their hands and ask questions and make comments, and I can play off of that. And there is feedback. I don't think anything like what you get when you're in that comedy routine thing.
Yeah, it's kind of visceral. There's like a visceral element that kind of like, it's kind of nice.
So I'm good.
Okay, dude, I think you did a great job. Watch a Glenn show. I would tell everyone, again, I don't have any, I don't have the power of Oprah, but people do listen to me about books. I have like a grain of sand of Oprah's book club power. So I give it total double thumbs up. And I think, you'd be a fool not to read it.
Well, I hope the book does well. It's so far so good. I mean, I'm not breaking any records, but the reviews have been on the whole very, very
fantastic.
Positive, and it's been widely noticed, and I get a lot of positive feedback from people like you. So I'm hopeful.
Nice, man. Well, hopefully I can get it out to a couple more people, because it was really, I read the other memoir you mentioned, the Born Again of Chuck Colson. I read that whole book from there, and I'm on a memoir frenzy right now where I'm reading as many of them as I can to try to get, the big answers, to see if I can maybe figure out this age-old question that I brought up before of like sensual pleasure over like some sort of higher order. And right now,
Well, more power to you.
Thank you so much. Right now, it's just me masturbating in hotels. So that's all I got. I don't have the rock star lifestyle. Well, thank you so much, Glenn. We can edit the last part out. I'm sorry, I didn't want to ruin it. But thank you so much for doing this. Really, I think you are one of the best people. It's like you're one of my top people to go to and just kind of like catch information, because I know it's not like, doesn't have that ideological capture that I think 99% of other stuff on the internet has. So
I'll tell you this. So I trained with a guy. He's a good guy. He has a little gym. And another of his clients is Nick. So Nick's going to be at one of your shows either tonight or tomorrow night, because he follows you and Shane. And,
nice.
And he said, I heard you mentioned on Matt and Shane. And he was so excited about it. He said, they like you, man. And I know you. He's happy to know the guy.
That's so funny.
So if he comes to the show that I come to, I'll introduce you to him.
Absolutely, that'd be awesome. I'm excited. Again, I can't wait.
He's a great guy. He loves his kids, and I love that about him. That he's a high school teacher, very modest guy. Just trying to keep his kids interested. And his big thing now is that they have to put their phones in the phone holder when they come into the classroom, and they get them back after the end of.
That's awesome.
But Nick's a good guy.
Nice, man. Hopefully I get to meet him. So
yeah.
Thanks again.
Okay.
Appreciate you.